All right, all right, all right. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome back to the Real Precious. I see the chat is getting lit already. Thank you guys for being here so much. Definitely hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so you know when we are live and when I'm live with other people as well. Um, but happy Monday, a new week. I like saying new, nueva, new, everything new. Happy Monday. Hello, Kenny. Hello, Sean. Kenny, how are you this evening?
I'm amazing, Precious. How are you?
I'm doing good. I can't complain at all.
What up, Sean?
What's up? What's up? I'm amazing as well. I got engaged over the weekend.
Oh,
You liar, you
congratulations.
liar. I already know that's April Fool's joke from I already know. I already
Come on,
know.
can we rock with it for a second?
We
Precious?
can't
Mhm.
we can't. We can't.
Oh man, I got to get a little bit more inventive. That was too easy
Yeah,
for me.
yeah.
Mhm.
We Sean, come on. We've been doing this too long. Come on. Who
You.
believed him? You put a one in the chat if you believe Sean got engaged this weekend.
That's why I gave the eye. I was like, because I'd already seen it pop up on his timeline.
Oh,
Remember?
did you?
No, that was like,
Oh.
Yeah, that might have happened. You're right. But
That
no,
might have
yeah,
happened.
it was a bad attempt at an April Fool's. And thank you for meeting that attempt right where it needed to stop.
Hmm.
I seen a couple ladies on my timeline. They put up like the CAT scan pregnancy, the X-ray, the photo of the about
Uh,
they're pregnant
Them
and
being
stuff like
pregnant, you
that.
gotta zoom in.
Yeah, I was there like, nah, I'm not even gonna touch it. I let
Mm,
somebody answer it first.
I don't know. I think we too grown for April Fools. What's funny? It's funny. I saw a video and I think he's from Baltimore, Vontae, and he was like, if anybody gonna say April Fools, it better be the people at the rent office. April Fools, you ain't gotta say it this but seriously, when you get to a certain age, it's like, what am I fooling people about?
Right.
What am I truly fooling people about, right? Tonight's show is sponsored by jecreativehosting.com. So if you guys need a website, a new brand new website, definitely go over there. Use the code of HCM22 for a discount on your website. But that is our sponsor for this evening. So definitely check them out. All right, let's get to the chat and see who's in the building. I appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Y'all are dedicated. Y'all, ain't nobody like y'all. Tarika, thank you so much for being here. She says, evening, everyone. Please hit that like button as you come in. Definitely hit the like button as you come in. Hit that bell notification so you're notified when everything goes down, not just certain things, but everything. And share this with a friend of a friend, a family member, whoever. That definitely helps the algorithm as well. Take heed to the message. That beautiful queen is in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. Take heed to the message. You guys go over there and follow her. She always has great insight, real insight, tells it like it is, keeps it real. I really enjoy her content. Her and her husband do very well. She, brings forth the message, but it is from a family based platform. Good evening, good people. Good to see you here, Quincy. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My co-host is actually in the chat this evening. He's not feeling well, so you guys send him some love, well wishes, but he'll be here in spirit and in the chat, so he is not very far from us. Okay, feel better, brother, is what Q is sending some love in the chat. I see you. Hey y'all. Hey y'all, says Cam. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Dorian, thank you so much, beautiful. Thank you. Hello, hello, hello. I appreciate you for being here. All right, guys. So we are going to hop into the show. Before we do, though, how is everyone's Easter Resurrection Sunday? I don't know, how y'all like to. It's Resurrection Sunday for me. I don't believe in the Easter Bunny, so But how was you guys' holiday?
Mine was great. It was really revealing. I spoke with a lot of people. It was actually my brother's birthday as well. And
Mhm.
so I started out with a phone call from him, and then a lot of my near and dear loved ones I spoke with, some of which I hadn't spoken to for a while, and just the joy that we had that was exchanged between us was fulfilling for me with everyone who I spoke with. So it was more fulfilling than I anticipated because I didn't have any plans. I was just going to be sitting here watching church but those conversations really lightened up my day and gave me a good warm feeling inside. It resurrected my spirit.
Okay, with the resurrection, you wasn't expecting it, but it came right on time for you. That's good. That's good. That's good. How about you, Kenny?
Well, stay local. Got on the prayer Zoom with a pastor that's in my office, and I just kept it local. Didn't want to do too much. Spent time with family on Saturday, and just got my church in and my knowledge, and just got my mind prepped for another week of work. So I just kept it local.
Yeah, same here. I watched church. Our church did. They were actually in an arena this year in Atlanta because he just has so many people who watch him. Of course, Easter is the one time that everybody comes out to church at least. So he had it in an arena. It was really good this Sunday, and it was a huge turnout. I mean, I could imagine it being. I mean, I could imagine it being like that every Sunday, just because it was like that on Easter. But Darius Daniels, he's a good pastor, so I think people really appreciated the production, the location, and just the whole day. So I'm glad you guys had a good day. The actual King Smith has spent mine with Michelle Cousins in Baltimore. It was a great time. Good. I'm glad you guys had a good time. I'm pretty sure that was fun.
Yeah, it was, and I watched that service as well. It was a great service. Finished watching.
Change.
You would enjoy him, Ken. Yeah. You would enjoy him. He's a pastor that teaches. He's in our age bracket between 40 and 50.
I've actually heard him.
Yeah,
his sermons a few times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very inspiring.
He's definitely
I do agree.
Somebody to recommend. Yeah, and King, we hope you feel better.
Mm-hmm. Same here, King.
Hello.
Good evening. Good evening, Arpain. How are you?
All right. How you guys doing? Hi, Precious. How you doing?
Doing good. Doing good.
Was you trying to read what I got there, Kevin?
Nah.
It's kind of. You still have your beard? I'm trying to see if the beard's still there.
Oh yeah, still yeah.
See, I caught it real quick. It's annoying each other. That's like
annoying each other.
You and the wife. I got
me and the wife. So annoying each other 37 years in and going strong.
Oh,
I like that.
We got matching shirts, so we went out like two Zeke Billigans to dinner with these shirts on. So,
well, you took it back like the old time Easter when couples used to dress alike and go to the movies.
Absolutely, man. We played it to the hilt.
You're a classy act.
Oh man, it was her birthday Saturday, so I took her out.
Oh, nice. I was going to ask you how you spent the holiday weekend. I call it Resurrection Sunday. Some people call it Easter. But how did you? So you spent it taking your wife out?
Yeah,
for dinner.
And my daughter was with us, and then of course, mass was on Sunday and stuff like that. So.
Okay, happy birthday, Mrs. Payne.
Yes, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. She got a lot of wishes.
All right. I want to join in and sing the happy birthday. Okay, it's okay.
You the singer.
The thing is, my voice don't work like that.
Not set up like that. It's all good. It's all good. No. But tell her that we said happy birthday. Well wishes to her.
I'll do that. I will do that.
Definitely.
Some people get me. How come we never see your wife? I said, well, she doesn't want to come on. What can I do? Can't force her to come on. Plus, she might say something that might incriminate me. Shoot.
Nah, we wouldn't want that. We wouldn't want that.
Nah, I wouldn't be worried about that, of course.
I know that's right. All right. So you haven't missed anything. We're just saying our hellos and introducing everyone to the show. So I appreciate everyone for being here. Blaze, I see you. Peace and abundance, Precious panel mods in the chat. Hope everyone is in good spirits tonight, stopping through for a bit. We also have YMCYBF, GSMB. What does all of that mean? I'm just asking a question. Pregunta. I can't even. We are family. I just see YMCA. There is no A, but that's just where my mind goes. I'm just letting you know. But I mean, just What does that mean? All right. All right, guys. So we're going to get into the show. So there is a post that I saw, Queen of Accountability. You know, she always busts people on her show for not necessarily being accountable. And I wanted to put this up because I think this happens a lot. And I think we need to bring it to the forefront to address it and for women to hear certain things from the men, being as though this is an interaction between a woman and a man. Now it's just her, so I'm just going to read it. Get it up here. Okay, so she titles it How I Knew He Wasn't the One. She says it was date number 4 and I decided to take my car and pick him up. I purposely made sure my tank was close to E. After I picked him up, we head to Shell's gas station and he proceeds to get out too. And I tell him that I can pump my own gas. This lame shuts his door and says, all right then. He didn't pump or pay for my gas, y'all. He is not used to leading or being a gentleman, and that is a serious narcissist issue. So,
Wow.
yeah. So, you know, the men's panel, we get you guys we get understanding, we get you guys' perspective. And I think it's beneficial for women to watch because I think women have a certain way of thinking about things. And a lot of times it hurts them more than it helps them. Actually, kind of seen something like this the other day. I was watching someone's live. He's also a content creator. And he had a young lady on his platform. And I guess she had previously made a post and he wanted to talk to her about the post she had made. Well, she was at her apartment building and a man was trying to help her and she didn't accept his help. I think she partially accepted it, but didn't want him to put something in her car. And he was, you know, trying to help. So what do you guys think about that? You know, she purposely makes sure there's no gas in the car. Then when they actually get to the gas station, she tells him that she pumps her own gas and he doesn't get out the car to help, nor does he pay for the gas.
Wow. Is that the narcissistic act identified by a narcissistic act? Because it seems like you're playing a game. Let's just start there. So you're playing the game to test somebody. And suppose he just wasn't with the games. Oh, suppose he was testing you. He's getting out the car to go pump the gas or do whatever he's gonna do, and you say no. So he's like, okay. So it could be he just decided, you know what, she ain't the one for me. Because I'm sitting out here getting ready to do it, and she takes the authority to say, I got it myself. Okay, you go get it. You're not used to having a man around you. You're not ready to have a man around you. It's kind of what I would take the position of. But to sit there and try and identify, I am that man that, and this is what you need to do. Yeah, that's a possibility as well. But I guess in my older age, I'll go more towards that other side of, you know what, you just ain't for me. All right, go pump your own gas and let's go back home because I'm good.
Kenny?
Okay, so I'm taking in what she said within that statement. There were 3 dates prior that got to that gentleman the ability to get to a 4th date with her. Her behavior within that 4th date, and then to label him a narcissist, showing your behavior as for, I'm gonna see what I can get, rather than encourage this man to be with me. Because if that was an interview, he done got to the 4th interview, he should have the job by now, or be on the way of having the job. But because he didn't put gas in a vehicle that you own and you pay the insurance for, and then when he tries to be chivalrous and you deny him, and then he accepts, he doesn't push, he is now a narcissist? No. He gave you what you asked for. He wasn't required to put gas in your car. At what point on those prior 3 dates, did you view him not your type or someone that you didn't wish to pursue? It really stands out that you care to judge a man by a superficial mean. I didn't hear anything about his true character, and obviously she doesn't know the definition of a narcissist. A narcissist would have never asked initially to pump your gas. I'll take from what she's given. That seems like a man that realizes that, you know what? I'm going to let you do what you do. I'm not going to impose, because I already got to the 4th date because you didn't like 2 servings, the 99 things that I did before. The one thing I didn't do is like I never did nothing. She doesn't deserve that, man, and she needs to look in the mirror, take a self-check, and realize that with that behavior, she's gonna fail at least 10 times out of 10.
Good point. Good point. Good evening, Hank. Thank you so much for joining the show.
Hey, good evening, Precious. How y'all fellas doing?
All right, what's going on?
What up, Hank?
What up? What up?
All righty. Arpain, what do you think about the reading?
First, the wife says thank you back to everybody. So
You're welcome.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Many more, please. Many more.
Many more.
Anyway, so listen, I think that I hope that the situation there ends their dating life by her playing that game. You know, he said he was going to pump the gas, he was going to do all that. She told him no. You can't go through a relationship with a woman playing games like that. You after the 4th date, I mean, all the games, your game should have been over. Now, I think he should walk away. I think drive me home. We eat whatever we're going to do that night. Let's do it, and let's part ways. I think that's what I think men need to start to do a little bit more. I mean, I think our tolerance level is too low or too high, whatever it is, too high. I wouldn't accept those kind of games, especially if she comes back. I mean, he didn't see that tweet or whatever that was, but maybe he didn't. But if she's thinking that way, there's no way for this relationship to succeed, because those games will never stop.
I agree. Hank, did you hear the passage that I read? If
No,
not,
I did not.
Okay, I can read it again.
Okay, that'll work.
I'll put it on the screen. So. All right. So she says, how I knew he wasn't the one. It was date number 4, and I decided to take my car and pick him up. I purposely made sure my tank was close to E. After I picked him up, we head to Shell gas station, and he proceeds to get out too, and I tell him that I can pump my own gas. This lame shuts his door and says, all right then. He didn't pump or pay for my gas, y'all. He is not used to leading or being a gentleman, and that's a serious narcissistic issue. Hank, you there?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah, she sound like a problem. Yeah, she sound like a real problem, and I don't know how old she is, but nobody got time to play games like that. If a man sit there and say he's going to do it, let him do it. But then you won't show your feminist behaviors. I said, no, I have the right to be my own gas. Well, then have to pump your own goddamn gas. Then I'm not gonna fight. I'm not gonna fight you for it. I promise you, I'm not gonna fight you for it. If you won't go out there and pump your own gas because you feel like you're entitled to do it, then go and do it. Don't ask me for shit. So I'm gonna get back in the car and watch your silly ass struggle and pump the gas. And then I may offer you some hand sanitizer when you get there.
So I don't know why. Well, I do know why. So, but it shouldn't happen this way. So, okay, what she wanted him to do, she denied him of doing. She purposely, her intent matters, right? And so she already had ill intent. She says she purposely picked him up while her car is close to E, which means she purposely wanted to see what he would do, right? So that's number one, ill intent. Number two is she asked him to do something and then don't want him to do it. She goes, after I picked him up, we head to Shell Gas, and he proceeds to get out too, and I tell him that I can pump my own gas. So she tells him she can pump her own gas, but when he goes to try to do it, she tells him no. And it's a whole bunch of back and forth, dumb psychological mind games that she can't even keep up with. Men are very direct, meaning now I don't want to say it like if you give them an order, because it's not necessarily an order, but if you request something from a man, that's what you're going to get. If you tell a man not to do something, he's not going to do it. If you tell him that you need something, he will keep it in mind and probably get you what you need. There is no, oh, you want me to do this? Then I won't do it because I understand that's not really what you want me to do. A man is going to do exactly what you tell him to do because he want to make sure that he gets done what you need to get done. But when you play mind games like this, then a man is not going to want to deal with you because he's going to realize that what you say you don't mean. And a man doesn't want to deal with a woman who can't mean what she say and say what she mean. So, but this happens a lot. Like I said, I was watching a live of a content creator and he brung a real life woman up, and she needed help, and the man asked to help her, and it was almost like she didn't want, and she said it was a heavy box. She was dragging it to her car, and she didn't want the man to help her. And it's like, look, if a man is willing to help, I'm gonna let him help. I'm sorry. That's just me. If a man says he wants to help, there's no way I'm gonna be like, oh no, don't do it. If a man is about to get out the car and pump some gas and pay for it, I'm not gonna be like, oh no, don't do it. So I don't understand women who do that and what they think they're gonna get from it when they do it in that manner. I don't understand it. So I wanted you guys to dive into that as men, because you guys can tell women directly what will happen when they do something like that.
You know, let me just add one thing to this. First of all, the guy has to be in tune enough to know he's being played with.
Dude, yeah.
There's a lot of guys who miss that, depending on how good the woman looks, right? So, but the guys who are a little bit more discerning, you know, when you're starting to get played with, and then you have a decision to make. So that's only, I don't know if it's a caveat, but it's just something to be aware of, because it might work for her for a while before the guy catches on. And how far she can go is how deep you really are. You know what I'm saying? Some guys, if they catch it on the first time, you can save a lot of time. If it's like 2, 3, 4, 5 months later, and she's still playing the game, you wasted a lot of time.
I have dropped the link for anyone who wants to join the show. It is pinned to the top of the chat. I'm going to read some of these comments. Did anybody else want to go before I read some of the comments here?
I was going to say
I don't know how, what R-Pain, her picking him up, I don't know if that was a sign. I mean, you know, if I assume he was picking her up the first 3 dates, and on the 4th date, I guess you feel like she was doing him a solid by picking him up, or was they just meeting at the restaurant, or when they go
No,
out?
that's
I
not
don't.
what I'm talking about. It's the refusing for him to pump the gas. That's the only part I'm talking about. By the fourth date, I wouldn't think anything of my woman picking me up to go to a date. I wouldn't think anything of it. But when we got to the gas station, and when she says, when he gets out of the car with the intent of pumping the gas, and then she give me some of that corny ass line, I could pump my own gas. That would raise something in my head. I think it would. I think it would.
I mean,
I'm
but
visual.
what do you think he's supposed to be raised? I mean, it first of all, it lets me know. Well, okay, cool. This is sound like she's having a bad day because I pump my own gas. This is what it sounds like to me. You know, she might have had some interaction that wasn't too pleasant with a man, so now she's found some man to get back at. So the next
So you giving her grace. So you giving her some grace.
How am I giving her grace? I'm not giving her grace. I mean, I said she was.
You should go there making some reason rationale for why she might be in a different. She might just be a. I was going to say a bad word, but she just might be who she is. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, you say she might be having a good day.
Payne, he should have figured that out about before the fourth day. If she was like that. I mean, look, I don't know how y'all go about dating. So there's no interaction, no conversation, no phone calls between these 4 dates. These 4 dates, if I went on 4 dates with a woman, I've probably known her at least about 3 months by now, 3 to 4 months. I'm not going to go week by week dates with her. I'm not. It may be a month before I go on the next date with her. That's me. I'm not going to bless her like that. Because guess what I'm going to be doing? I'm entertaining other women. I'm not just going to entertain her. Because most of these women, you can't put all your eggs in a basket like that. You can't.
But
and I would.
The only thing I want to add to you is what you're saying is exactly true.
Let me finish, big brother. I know, old head, I got you. I know it's your wife's birthday. You still celebrating. I know you're going to get some string later. I know. I understand that.
Oh, man, come on, man. I was just trying to hit your point when you hit it.
I got you. But I think I wouldn't be going on 4 weeks of consecutive dates with me, in my opinion, and I don't think that's probably what happened. So there's got to be some type of conversation between time. There's some type of interaction between time. So in those between time and conversation, I'm going to get to know more and more about her. Now, him out shows he does have a little bit of sense of that to offer to pump her gas. Now, whether she was, wanted to accept the man's offer, that's on her. I think she's just being an asshole about it. You know what I'm saying? He should allow him to do it, and then maybe let him know after he's done it. Hey, I prefer to do my own gas. Okay, cool, but I just try to be a gentleman and do it for you. That's what I would have did in the situation. But like I said, I don't know the age of these dudes. These young dudes, you tell them one time, oh fuck it, I ain't gonna beg you to do this pump his gas for. I'm not gonna do all that. But he probably just did that out of consideration because his mama said you ought to do it for a lady, more than likely. And so he tried to do it. And she said, no. Well, mama, I tried, but she turned me down. She didn't want my help, so I just let her go. Now, a man like myself said, no, I got it. I would have took it out of her hands and told her, gone in the car, chill. I got you. Don't worry about it. It's taken care of. And kept it moving.
I think it's playing out in my mind why she was offended and didn't want him to pump the gas. Certain women have good ways of hiding their intentions, and they do it very well. I think if I was to surmise, she got frustrated that he didn't offer to pay for the gas, but he did want to pump it because I didn't hear any reference to him wishing to pay for it. And maybe her response was like, I could pump my own gas. And when a response comes like that, that seems a little sharp. So she's just going to come out of nowhere and say, oh, I could pump my own gas.
So you think she was okay with pumping the gas, but not okay with paying for it? You think she was like, oh, I could pump my own gas, but wanted him to pay for it?
No, her intentions failed, and she was frustrated that he didn't offer to pay. Her initial statement, I purposely had my car close to E to see what he would do. there had to be a statement. Suppose he did not see it on E. She has to present it as such if he's the passenger. Not every passenger is looking at your fuel gauge.
That's right.
So a conversation must have most likely taken place, and she didn't like what she heard. He probably said, "You can pay for it and I'll pump it," because that statement is like, I could pump my own gas, and that would be the deal breaker. That he's a narcissist and he's not one I wish to keep. You came with dubious means and expected to get an upright dude that cared for you. You put his worth on superficial things. You were crafting your way to find your position with this man with the 3 prior days to seeing how or what angle you could take with him to better benefit yourself. And it kind of, it kind of reminds me of a situation I had when I took a girl out, and I was the 20 to her 80. And I realized that I'm doing dumb stuff just because I want this girl to like me. I let her invite her friend. I took both to the movies. We went to eat. I went to the bathroom. Her friend was hollering at the next dude, and they came over to the table. I had no problem with that, kinda. I did, though. But the girl that I came with, I gave her a look, and she still let that happen. I paid the bill. They were talking in the car. They said they didn't like what I did. Just pay the bill and abruptly end the date. I wasn't on a date with you. I looked to see if her friend checked her. Still chirping in my ear. Their building was like on an embankment once you come off the highway and you go on the off-ramp. I pulled right there and I said, walk up the off-ramp. Both of y'all get out. I went home. My voicemail was filled. Like, you ain't no man. You's a boop, 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 boop. That's not abandonment. They were just a good 60 feet from where they were supposed to be. But I was that sucker. So it hit home. I just recollected one thing I did in my 20s. I could see it playing out in my head. Your plan failed and you got frustrated. And then you had the audacity to write about your dubious means, calling him a narcissist, when you were actually the narcissist and the evil one, and your intentions didn't go through. So you just had to bite that bullet.
Yeah, I think all us men agree. Said a narcissist calling somebody a narcissist. Go figure.
Yeah, I think that in her case, she seems like someone who is very overly independent, and she wants someone to beg her to be in that men's role when he's not going to beg you to take care of you. He offered, and you make it feel as though you don't want to be taken care of. Is a man supposed to beg you to do that? And I don't think most men are going to beg you to do it. Like King said, he probably wouldn't have allowed her to do that. But how often is she going to do that as a woman? And how often is a man going to be like, no, I got it. Now, I can understand it happening that one time. And he says, look, I'm your man and I'm going to take care of you. So you don't have to worry about being overly independent about these things or trying to, do these things on your own. And I'm here. You don't have to do those things. And so I'm going to assume that that's what she wanted him to do. She wanted him to talk her down off of her high independent mountain that she was on, and to say, hey baby, you don't need to do all that. I got you. You better not. But I'm just saying, I'm not saying that men are going to.
Let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
What you're saying, I get it. But the point is that if it was the first date, perhaps, but this is the 4th date. So she should already have an idea of the characteristics that the man got, and him getting out of the car to start the process and her going ahead and doing that that's why that what you was just describing might not really sit well.
Well, if it's a fourth date, right? And these are all assumptions. We don't know what the hell's going on. But if this is the fourth date, right? He's picked her up every single time. Sometimes certain things don't happen until you quote unquote test someone. So she wants to know, is he going to be this kind of guy that is not going to take what I'm saying and to be the man, right? Be the man and do it anyway. When he was going to do it, but she decided to say, hey, no, I got it. I pump my own gas. I don't need you to do this. I believe she wanted him to say, no, but I got it. Like, she wanted there to be a problem. And somebody did put it in the chat that she created a problem or she manufactured a problem out of thin air. And a lot of times women do that because they're trying to figure out who you are in their mind, not realizing that you're telling her who you are. You're about to get out the car. You don't even have to say anything. You're about to get out the car and she says, no, I can pump my own gas.
Precious.
So does she want this to be a back and forth for you to say, no, but I'm going to pump it? Because at the end, she calls him a narcissist and says he's not used to being a gentleman and a leader.
Precious.
So I think she wanted there to be a back and forth where he actually proclaimed. Maybe she wanted him to claim and do all of that all in one. I'm telling you. Sometimes you don't know how to communicate.
Can I add one thing that Kenneth said? Yeah, Kenny, one thing I kind of agree that could have been, like, when she said, if he would have came up and say, listen, if we're going to go to the gas station, I know you're on empty, I got it. I'm going to pay for it. If she was waiting for that, I still have an issue with that. Because I'm thinking the assumption though, that if he's going to pump it and still ask her to pay, it's a fair assumption if she was feeling that way. But if that's what he was going to do, like pump the gas, see what the price is, and say, okay, I pumped it for you, go ahead and pay anyway. I think he's kind of nerdy that way. But by the fourth date,
the key is right there. He offered to pump the gas, but something about what they conversed about made her.
Well, you added that though. You're adding that, aren't you? Yeah, you don't know what they conversed about.
Okay, watch this. What I can surmise from this is I'm listening to what Precious says. If a woman wishes to make it that complex for a man, then make it a deal breaker. At the end, you like the person in the chat said, you created a problem out of thin air. You're problematic.
Right. I agree with that.
An independent woman says, I got that. A woman of her worth. A man is also watching. A man is judging. Oh, damn, she's not superficial. You know what? A man will naturally fall in line and give you those favors because a man is a man.
You lost me on that. And what do you mean, a man? But by her playing the game, she can figure out whether it was superficial.
A man will naturally, like she said, independent woman that said, I got this. A man will naturally observe this woman and how she moves, then show her, you ain't got to do all that. I'm for you. It wouldn't be problematic. It wouldn't be a test like that.
Well, you said he would have stopped her in her tracks. Get your ass back in the car. I'm paying for it. I'm going to pump the gas. I'm going to pay for it.
You wouldn't have to take that aggressive stance because the chivalry would kick in with the true woman with the intention of seeing it out with you.
I'm sorry.
Because women are receivers, and she didn't want to receive that from him. That's how I look at it. She didn't want to receive it from him, and then rejected him or called him out of his name, which was uncalled for. You could have received it and you rejected it. And so what is he supposed to do? Force you? Because women don't like to be forced to do anything, right?
Exactly.
Wait, Kenny, wait a minute. You back up. Listen, you know what? I admire what you're saying, but that chick needs to be dealt with the way she. Look, the only thing I didn't see in this story was him saying, "Listen, this is the last ride I'm having with this chick."
No, she
That's what I wanted to hear. That's if they added that on the end, I'd be happy.
wait. She already made it finito from that statement that was
Yeah,
read
we
off.
haven't heard this part of it though. I mean,
Oh,
we
wait,
heard
wait,
her
wait.
part of it.
She okay, yeah, that's fair. But from what we got, the information gathered, she said he was done after a
Yeah, you
certain
know what? And
event,
you
after
know what?
3
And
days.
she better buy some cat food and shit. Because if she's thinking that a well-to-do man is going to take her bullshit like that, she's going to have hurt a lot of cats in her life. Because most men ain't going to stand around here trying to prove to her that they're worthy to be in her presence. Get the hell out of here, man. I think men need to stop to do that. I mean, that's
And
what our
I
problem
like
is.
to jump in here.
I was just about to welcome you to the show, The Truth as I Know It. Thank you so much for being here, sir.
Well, go ahead, Payne. Go ahead and finish up.
No. Go ahead, man. I talked enough, man. Go ahead and hit it. Man. Hit it.
Damn, I'm glad you admit that, Payne.
You were hell with you, man. You know what? Go ahead, man. Go ahead, brother. I'm all ears.
Okay, you guys are on point. I'll say that you're on point with the words that you guys are saying, but it says right here at the top, it says men's panel, but I'm not hearing a men's conversation. Y'all on some bullshit right now. Because, good and well, this conversation should have lasted 30 seconds. It should have lasted 30 seconds. All this pontificating back and forth about this ratchet, family destroying bum. You know what? Y'all are like dissecting this like it is a talk show, but this should have been real short. And the problem is that there's too many black men that debate this type of stuff instead of laying down the law. Now, I know in your real lives, because I can tell by your answers. I can tell Kenny is on point. There ain't no simping and this pimping over here. Hank, I can tell. Payne, I think he's a married man. He's laying down the law. Now, Sean, last time I talked to you, bruh, you was saying some stuff, and it was very questionable. But I don't know who you are, bruh, so I don't know. But I will say this, though. You leave them family destroying women in the dust. You could tell. You don't need to go 4 dates on a woman with a woman to tell if she's a family destroyer or not. You know when the type of woman that you should be spending time with. You'll know by the second date because they love the shit out of you. They're connected to your hip. They're going to be on that cell phone, texting. They'll be wanting to pay for your gas, buying your meals when they really want you, when they really love you. When you really got a real woman, there is no debate. There is no question. There's no looking for the signs. She lets it be known. You got to beat her off with a stick, and you still can't do it because she loves you so hard. That's what it is. So when I hear black men debating this dumbass shit, I go, y'all know what I'm saying is true, but Precious gives you this bullshit ass topic, and then you debate it, not like you normally would if it was just the fellas, because you know damn well y'all would have said, this is some bullshit. That bitch has got to go. I don't know how he lasted 4 dates with this broad. He was simply doing that. This is crazy. That whole conversation is crazy. And I'm saying as black men, we got to start laying down the law for these young brothers and let them know, man, you should be a family building warrior. You should be telling women, I want a beautiful wife who's awesome, who loves the shit out of me, who wants to be a great mother to our children and a great wife and wants to create great experiences. And if she don't come like that on the first date, I ain't fucking with her. Then she's going in the trash bin with the rest of them. Period. And I'm standing on it. And I got a bunch of brothers backing me up on that. And let me tell you something. When men start speaking like that and you talk to women like that, they start dripping wet. They love it. They want men to speak like that. All this, well, you want me to pump your gas? You need your gas? All this whole bullshit. We got to cut that out. That's all I'm saying, man. Just lay down the law. Just say what it is. That's what needs to happen. I'm a family building warrior. I know Kenny is because I hear what he says. Hank seems like he's on point. We already got a family building warrior. I know Payne is married. Now, Sean, I don't know who you are. Maybe I don't know who you are.
Well, let me speak who I am, because last time you spoke on me, you ain't really listened. And let me ask you this. Are you married?
I'm married, yeah.
Okay, cool. So I can respect that and understand that. So you're not out in the dating world and you're not really experiencing any of the things that are going on right now, because you're married, correct?
True.
Okay. So I would journey to say you might not really understand the dynamics of what's going on. But to your point, laying down the law, yeah, that I actually agree with. We all agreed on that was some bullshit. To your words, we all agreed on that in reference to what the girl did. She playing games, and we don't like game playing. And that's definitely something that I stand by as well. But at the point of over emphasizing what it is, you ain't got to do all that. You ain't got to talk about it. To your point, all you got to do is do it. At that point, what I said, and I think the other gentleman said, was, "Yo, we out. That's the end for me." So she's talking about it with her girlfriends or whatever, whoever she posted it to. But the man, any of us men, we're already out. We already like, yo, deuces. As soon as she said, "Yeah, I got this on the 4th date," because if you don't know by the 1st date what I'm about,
4th date ain't out though, is it?
Yeah.
4th date ain't out. Four dates, and she acting like that. If a woman acts like that and this date,
yeah, that's why I said we all agreed we was out. That was our turn. She's taking the road.
This is what I'm saying. As an individual, we all know this. But as a collective, look at a guy like Anton Daniels. This dude had a beautiful wife, Rita. Where's Rita? When's the last time you seen Rita? He got a video. Go check one of his videos. He got a video where he walks out of his gas station and he goes, "Hey, y'all, it's a cold Michigan night. And, I'm just getting some gas with my wife. Oh, look over there." And he starts pointing at his car. He starts pointing at his car. He goes, "See that Porsche I brought Rita? Yeah. She's sitting in the front seat of the Porsche." And you watch the video, Rita ain't in the Porsche, right? She's
True.
literally not in the Porsche.
True.
And he's making this whole video about this imaginary wife that's in the car. She ain't there. And I'm like, Anton, you broke up your marriage over shaming, blaming, and explaining and talking about these women online. You had a beautiful, amazing wife, and you lost your marriage talking about this bullshit. And I think part of the reason why, like, you get this, Kenny gets this, Hank gets this, we all get this, Precious gets this, but as a Black culture, we don't have a culture where women shouldn't even feel comfortable even having a tweet like that. And Precious damn sure shouldn't feel comfortable repeating that. Damn sure shouldn't be. Y'all should be cussing Precious out for even having that tweet.
Hold on one second, Payne.
Let me say that the culture
Give me a
should
second.
be for us, so we don't ever have these conversations. That's my point.
Truth. Give me a second.
That's why I said you're married, because you don't realize
Sean, give me a
what's
second.
happening.
Go
Ahead, Ken.
Long enough. I've been out here with these hood rat bitches my entire life. I've been out here with a lot of these broads. Let's not pretend that I don't know what's going on when I know what's going on.
Wait. No one is discrediting what you say.
Well, let Kenny go. Go ahead.
Wait, he just
Hold
jumped off.
on. No, I removed him. That's what I did. Okay, because this is my show, and no one is going to come up on this panel and talk the way that he did. I don't know who he is. Look, I respect men. I respect y'all. So when you come on my show, you're going to respect me. Period.
Agreed.
Precious. He was the same gentleman that I won the bet against Marcus.
I understand who he is, but what I'm saying is right now in this instance, we're going to have respect, because he also came on here talking about other people, and I don't care what other people are going through. I am not going to have this be a platform where we talk about Anton Daniels and everybody else. I don't know what's going on with Anton Daniels, nor do I need to hear it from anybody on the internet.
And I was going to give you that covering. That's what I was trying to stop him and let him know
she
that
did the right thing. She did it.
She did. But she has 4 other men up here in her defense, and I was about to ask him, where does he get off in saying certain things, because this is her panel. But she got those magic fingers. She was like,
"Yeah."
Anybody who knows me, they wear magic.
Okay.
I don't know. When I get a chance,
that's the first time I seen that little muscle right here flex.
I like to say something. Sean, you know what I hate? I hate when you single dudes try to tell people who are married we don't know what's going on. I hate that. That's gaslighting at its worst.
He said he was married.
No, he's a single guy telling a married guy, just because you married, you don't know what's going on.
Pain.
Wait,
I
let me
said that.
finish. Let me finish. I categorically deny that. I got a daughter that's a millennial, got a daughter that's a Gen Z. I'm making my goal in life to know what's going on in their lives. So if I got to learn how these crazy ass people think at this level, and that's what I do. So, that's one, and two, I'm gonna shut up right here, Sean. I've been dealing with women my whole entire life. Just because I'm not trying to bed any more than just one of them, that doesn't mean I don't know how women act and behave. Matter of fact, I think I have an advantage.
I need to interrupt you. I need to purposely interrupt you because it wasn't at you. You've been on panels with me for a long time, and I don't even mess with you about you not knowing. No, but you took it personally, and I was speaking directly to him. I've never said that to you. And we've been on and I was just trying to be cordial.
I agree with you. That's true.
I was trying to be cordial and go from that angle as opposed to taking it personal because he was taking personal shots.
Oh, you know what, man? I'm sorry, man. I'm like a woman. I'm taking my past history out on you and shit. But the truth of the matter is, I've been on panels where people give me that shit all the time. So when I hear it, I can't stand it. But you're right. You've always been honest with me. I can.
Yeah, and I was going to go to the next one, but
Jesus Christ, we can't. When y'all talk over each other like y'all doing, we can't hear y'all, and we can't hear you. The audience can't hear you. All pain. We need to get you some goddamn Ritalin, man. You can't calm your ass down for shit.
Oh, I think I'm calm. But what are you talking about? I'm really calm right now. You just be
going and going and going.
His and her shit on. I look calm. Come on.
So when y'all talk over,
I was trying. You're right, Hank. You're right.
When we talk over
I
each
was
other,
trying to be very.
You're right.
Go ahead, bro.
You're right.
Go ahead, get it off.
You're right.
No, I was trying to be real respectful because he took shots the last time, and I wasn't on air to kind of to address him about him. And then he started getting on today, so I'm listening. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, any man who repeatedly calls somebody a bitch or a hoe, you got some issues as far as I'm concerned. I say, who hurt you? That would have been my next question to him. Who hurt you? Because you on some bullshit. Because anytime you got a result to calling somebody that you don't like a bitch or a hoe, you just as childish as you claiming they are.
Sean.
So Sean, what you're doing right now, you're no better than him. Because like you said, he talked bad about you while you wasn't on there. You doing the same thing, brother. He ain't here no more.
Let's let it go. Let's move on, man.
Okay.
Precious.
He's not here no more. Let it be.
Okay.
Precious did what she needed to do. And so we're gonna move on. We ain't gotta go into details. We're gonna talk bad about the man. He ain't here to defend himself. Go to hell with it. Now, what he did was wrong. He shouldn't have took shots at a man who's not even here to defend what he said. But that's him. That's him. Some people like that. I don't like that shit.
It's not even
Me
I'm gonna
either.
say something about you. I'm gonna tell you why you. I don't like that.
Yeah, go ahead, Hank. I'm sorry.
No,
I feel
what
like
I'm
you just
saying, I
don't do that.
don't like that. No, that's not cool. So, but now he not here. No, ain't no need to taking a shot at him now. Let him live. Let him live in the chat. If Precious don't want to bring him back up, don't feel like he's worthy of being up. Hey, it is what it is. He just got to stay in the chat. Say what he said.
Trying to check it. I was about to because I saw where he was going, and I took it. It kind of set something off with me. A married man using that type of language and then coming up on a ladies panel and then talking that type of way. That's lack of etiquette, lack of respect and decorum. That's why I put my finger up, and I was just trying to see how I was going to address it because I remembered him from last time. I remember how he spoke to Sean, and I truly didn't appreciate how he was speaking to you, but you put him up on the panel, and I think he needed to at least get it that if he's in your audience, why is he here? If he doesn't respect
I honestly, what I didn't like was talking about someone else's marriage that is or is not. I don't know what's going on with other people. And when I say other people, I mean people. I've been on panels with Anton Daniels. I've been, in those spaces. And no matter how you feel about someone, their personal life, and I'm talking about real life people. We might talk about these celebrities and things like that in social media, and why I bring these topics, because yes, they are social media topics, but they do happen in real life. But I'm never going to get on here and talk about someone that I shared a space with and what's going on in their family life. Don't come on my panel and do that. How about that? We gonna put that PSA out there. You want to talk about people, then you keep that on other people's panels. But when it comes to real people that I have been encountered with and in spaces with and things like that, I don't want to hear it over here, because at this point it's hearsay. I don't know what's going on in that man's life. I pray him well. I pray whatever is happening in his marriage, that it smooths out, or whatever, they can work it out. But we do know, we talk about family over here. We talk about, the Black family. And, like I said, no matter how you feel about someone, that is a real life person. Okay. He's going through what he's going through. Let him go through that. But he don't need you talking about that on my platform. That's damn for sure. You go somewhere else and talk about that.
And as you said, I was going to address that, because I've known Antoine. I've met Antoine. I've done coaching calls with Antoine. He has certain things that we've spoken about, because he has my number, and certain things that he had from a professional aspect that we're cool. And I've been watching Lapeef from a long time ago, so I was about to address him, because that's like catty behavior. And I was like, I don't know what's going on, but you did what you had to do.
Yeah, we got I'm not the drama queen. There's a lot of other platforms where you can do that and get that off and have fun and kiki. Not over here. Not over here. We, like I said, over here is where we get understanding from the men. We get perspective from the men. And if you want to come on this panel and you're a man and give your perspective and things like that, you can do so, but be respectful. Right. And if you can't be respectful, I'm going to just have you off the platform. That's all. That's it, and that's all. Okay. So there was pretty much. Yes, thank you. There was a consensus on this first topic. I mean, pretty much you guys are saying, hey, look, she's overly dependent. I'm not dealing with that. I'm not going to go back and forth with her. I'm going to read some of these comments, and then we're going to move on to the next topic, okay? Mary Smith says, first of all, why did you have to pick him up? So she's wondering why the woman had to pick him up. But I think that was a part of her agenda. There are things that you do. Like I said, you got to look at the intent. And a lot of times women have intent that is going to be some reverse psychology type of situation, and it's not necessarily going to be that. What you say is what you mean, and he's going to take what you say as what you mean. And I think that she picked him up with the intent of him paying for her gas, pumping her gas, and it just didn't go that way. Toxic games are fun. Not to me. Blaze says, I mean, she did say she could pump her own gas. She did say that, and he allowed her to do just that. Tarika says, first of all, she was wrong because she had expectations. Yeah, she definitely had intent going into that. The World Class says they get a false sense of control, emotional rush. Yes, it's like, oh, I'll do this. No, don't do this. Oh, I'll do it. No, don't do it. It's like, girl, we don't have time to go back and forth. She manufactured a problem out of thin air. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Stupid games equals stupid prizes. AP says that then she would have been online talking about he thinks I'm broke or handicapped. Passport Bro Villain says she tested to see if he was a real, and the feminists will call it, he don't have enough initiative, do it. But I think him not paying / offer to pay pissed her off. It did. But if that was the case, honestly, you wouldn't have rejected him getting out the car to pump the gas for you. Precious, how would you have handled it if you were trying to get him to pay for it indirectly? I don't know. I don't have a problem with a man wanting to do something for me. Like I'm not going to, if he's going to get out the car to pump the gas, I'm not going to be like, oh no, I'm not. Like even today, it's funny. Today, went shopping. My brother, my mom, and I and my brother was in one location. Me and my mom, I was in one location. My mom was in another location. And so we wanted to drive together. And long story short, my brother is like, oh, well, I'll drive your car. And I'm like, okay, like, I'm not going to argue you with it. Like, drive my car. I don't want to drive. I'll sit in the passenger or in the back. Like, I'm good. I don't have to drive. So I'm not the kind to not have a guy do it for me. I am the kind, I'm not going to ask you directly. If you want to do it for me, then I am grateful. I appreciate it, because you don't have to do it. But I'm not going to ask you to do it, because I do see what men do on their own. Because then you kind of can gauge how generous a man is going to be. And when I say generous, I just mean a man who is just going to take the initiative to do it. If he's going to get out the car to pump the gas, I'm not going to tell him not to get out the car. I'm just going to sit there and people watch the people going in the gas station. Make sure ain't nobody coming out there. Keep my eyes out. But I'm not going to stop him.
And that's how my wife. That's how my wife is. I swear.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is,
my daughter took a drive down to North Carolina, so I drove. My daughter drove. My wife was in the back seat. She didn't even hint that she was going to take the wheel. She didn't even.
If a man is around, I do not want to drive. I mean, I will, but I don't want to.
but the caveat with what y'all talking about, especially you, Precious, is you wouldn't have left your house with that type of intent in your mind.
Oh no.
Because nothing good can come from that.
No, I'm not behind. I would have had the car filled with gas, so he didn't get in there and be like, "Dang, she ain't got no gas in the car."
No, and watch how this plays out. A woman that stays within her grace and femininity, a man would give everything to naturally.
Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted even to get to him on E. That's a scary place. I don't know why we play them games. We walking by faith and not by sight. I would have been like, no, I'm not even gonna play them games to get to him on E. I'm gonna get this gas, go pick him up, and you know what I mean? That be that. Truth and Reality Undefeated says men don't use women for sex. Sex is equivalent exchange. Her time, energy, and sex organ for his time, energy, and sex organ. We break even, null and void. That is actually for the last topic that we're going to be talking about. Jason Nelson, thank you so much for being here. Thank you. All right, so we're going to move on to this next topic. The next topic is a video that I saw, and I wanted to get you guys, as well as the chat's opinion. You guys definitely hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you're notified every single time we go live. But the second video is quite interesting. I wanted to get you guys' opinion on this. It involves a mother and a son. Where we at here?
And deserves a second chance at love, except my son James. I've watched him destroy decent women and leave them in dire straits with bills and kids he doesn't want. James has 7 kids by multiple women, and his girlfriend Reese is pregnant now. James lives with me. He's my only son, and I could never let him sleep on the street. James was asleep when Reese broke into my home and beat him with a pot after she found out about the other women and children. James called my name, but I didn't save him. He deserved that ass whooping, and I wanted to make sure he got it.
Yep.
Reese told him to get his punk ass out my house and leave with her, and he did. I cleaned his room and went back to bed. James called police and reported the beating. They brought him to my house. I told police that James drinks and may have gotten into a bar fight. I took the cops to his clean room and told them he wasn't there earlier, so the assault didn't happen. I didn't want Reese arrested. I betrayed my son, but it was for the best. Did I do the right thing?
And he gonna call out for his mama. Mom.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Call for your mama.
Mama! That's right. Call your mama. Call for your mama. Call for your mama. Oh, man.
All right, guys. So, what did you guys think of? Hank, did you see the whole thing? I know you popped out and popped back in.
No, I
did. You see the whole thing?
I did.
That's okay. I'll play it one more time. I'll play it again.
Why you get special privilege?
I would play for anybody.
Every man deserves a second chance at love, except my son James. I've watched him destroy decent women and leave them in dire straits with bills and kids he doesn't want. James has 7 kids by multiple women, and his girlfriend Reese is pregnant now. James lives with me. He's my only son, and I could never let him sleep on the street. James was asleep when Reese broke into my home and beat him with a pot after she found out about the other women and children. James called my name, but I didn't save him. He deserved that ass whooping, and I wanted to make sure he got it.
Yep.
Reese told him to get his punk ass out my house and leave with her, and he did. I cleaned his room and went back to bed. James called police and reported the beating. They brought him to my house. I told police that James drinks and may have gotten into a bar fight. I took the cops to his clean room and told them he wasn't there earlier, so the assault didn't happen. I didn't want Reese arrested. I betrayed my son, but it was for the best. Did I do the right thing?
He gonna call out for his mama.
Mom. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Call for your mama.
Mama! That's right. Call your mama. Call for your mama. Call for your mama. Oh, man.
I'm mad they put that 8-point mark.
So who beat his ass? Was it a woman beat his ass or not a dude?
Yes.
His current baby mom broke in and beat him with a pen or something like that. And the mom he called out for his mom. His mom didn't do anything to stop it. But she said that he deserved it. And when the cops came, because his things were gone, she was able to say that he wasn't there at that time. And yeah, so
she pretty much covered
she's
for
asking if she did the right thing or not by betraying him and telling the cops that he wasn't there and not being on her side when the baby mama beat him up. And
look, she betrayed him a long time ago, way before all this bullshit. She betrayed him when he should have been with his daddy. That's when the betrayal really started. Probably when he was probably about 8 or 9 years old, when the daddy probably left the house and divorced that heifer because he knew how crazy he was. But unfortunately, he did a disservice to his son and left his son behind. Now, I don't know if the father probably said, "Man, give me that boy," and she said, "No," trying to get back at him. So that's where the disservice started. So she failed that boy a long time ago. I'm not surprised by her activity now. I'm not surprised by it. Nothing she said or they read surprised me because she failed him then. She continued to fail him. And she did not do one thing to try to help that boy to become a man because the father was probably little to no involvement. Because if he was, he probably wouldn't be moving the way he's moving now. And now he's got all that trouble with multiple baby mama, multiple kids, and not take care of none of them and doing all that. Yeah. Yeah, so the mother did him a disservice a long time ago. So now this is what she gets. She got a failure-ass son. The trash bloodline continues.
I wholeheartedly agree. I think she did the service a long time. She's been enabling him for too long, and she continues to enable him. Even in this scenario, she still is enabling some of the behavior that she probably had a lot to do with, if not totally had all to do with it. So, did she do him a disservice? No, she's been doing him a disservice for a long time, allowing him to have 7 kids and not say anything about it and still live with her, allowing him to do a lot of the things. So him getting that ass whipping, I think we all probably can agree he needed it and deserved it. And he still probably need a little bit more because he called the cops after it instead of taking accountability that, maybe I need to take this L. Maybe it should have changed my perspective and my approach to things. And so good luck to the future ass whippings that he might be getting.
All right. So
I don't agree with taking no ass whooping. That's some bullshit, Sean. I don't know what the hell you talking about. So, he did right. He should have called the cops and put her ass on paper. Yeah, he should have put her ass on paper. He did what he should have did, but taking that ass whooping? No, I don't believe in taking shit.
Well, what kind of ass whooping really was it? Listen, I would say that the reason why his mother let him go is because he was a defective son husband. He didn't have no promise to take care of her later on, so he was more of a burden than he was an asset. If he was an asset son husband with 100 kids, she would have still kept him there because she knew he was her retirement plan. So, so whatever this fictitious butt whipping he was supposed to take by the woman that he left with to her house doesn't make any sense to me. So she swung a couple of pots and pans at him and whatever, and he left with her only because she doesn't know what she's getting into, because now she's the mom and he's going to be a deadbeat over her house with her little dumb little kid. So let me just tell you this: the guy's a loser. There's nothing that can happen to him that I would ever care about. And the men in the community who have multiple baby mamas who can't pay for them, even if they could pay for them, I got another smoke for them. But if you can't pay for the babies you create in the community, you are a pariah. You are one of the biggest enemies to the Black community ever. And I don't give a shit what nobody tells me. You got 6 baby mamas by, out there, and you're not paying for any of them. One, you're a burden on the taxpayer. You're a burden on that woman's family, because she's going to rely on them to take care of those kids. And you're an absolute burden on the woman herself, because any chance she had to bag the best man in her life, you took away from her. It's her fault by opening her legs, but that's another reason why she can't do it. So yeah, because the best man ain't gonna come after no goddamn baby mamas. We all know that. So the bottom line is, one guy can destroy 6, 7, 8 lives by himself. And we need to start looking at that, because it's a burden on the taxpayers, it's a burden on the families, and it's a destruction of the goddamn woman herself, even if she doesn't want to look at it. So the baby daddy gets a pass on a lot of stuff that he shouldn't get a pass on, especially the ones who can't pay for the kids that they put in. So Nick Cannon is a Pookie, but at a different level. And you argue with me about him being a Pookie because he could pay, but he's a Pookie. And he got 7, 8, 9, 12 kids out there with all these women. They're highfalutin women who might have their own shit, but they still are ruined by the fact that they all cleave to this asshole. So anyway, I'll land it there. So this guy, I'll land it here. This guy who got his ass beat by the pots and pans, I have no sympathy.
So how are we blaming the mother for a grown man's decisions?
I ain't blaming her at all.
No, the first couple takes were the mother was responsible for the son that's out there doing whatever.
I'll answer that.
Finish.
Oh, I thought you was asking a question. Go ahead.
No,
I thought you was saying
no.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I was just putting that out there in the air. That's a grown man. It's a certain point in time, cause and effect.
Right.
You're wise enough to know that you're actually wrecking lives. That's not his mother's fault, but a mother always has a love for his son, just like a dad has more love for his daughters. No matter what he did, and she probably he's a grown man. She's gonna go up there and whip his butt. But maybe one time she saw something, or maybe one of his child's mother, and she was like, you know what? This is just deserves. I'm gonna let you get that pot upside the head. Maybe it straighten out your life. Maybe you'll get some kind of semblance that you need to stop. Maybe a good skillet in that from when it hit you upside the head to get your mind right, for you to stop doing what you're doing. And I'm glad the mother protected the girl and the son knew about it, so that you could start being an example of what you wish to put out there in the world, because that's disgusting. I have a cousin who has like 26 kids, West Indian. What? 26 kids? I'm like, I can't even fathom that. We have a responsibility as men. That was the common sentiment that's underlined with each conversation from the men that answered on this panel. And when we see bad behavior like that, okay, I understand why certain sentiments are that way, but I can't blame the mother, because it come a point in time when you're old enough to lay down with somebody old enough to deal with the effects of those things. So telling me he's still by his mom, he ain't got nothing going on for himself. And that's the only refuge that he could. And a mother's not going to refuse her son. Depends. But I'll leave it there.
Yeah, but she can. She did an injustice to that boy young. She didn't. What did she teach that boy? Most mothers teach you how to treat a woman. Most mothers do. Most good mothers will teach you how to treat a woman, because they're gonna teach you how you also respect, love, and damn near worship her as being your mother. She gonna sit there and say, don't you hit a girl, don't you disrespect, don't call her out on her name. They're gonna teach you, especially if you got a sister. You're gonna be there protective. You make sure you watch out for your sister. You take care of your sister. Don't let nobody hurt your sister. They gonna teach you all of that. He wasn't taught none of this shit. Don't sound like it. Because he's operating, moving like a man who's just living reckless. And she's probably seen all this going on. Yet, why didn't you kick his ass out? Why don't you put him out? You moving like this, yeah, you don't, and I'm telling you, until you gonna keep doing it, why didn't you put him out? No. She kept babying his ass, putting him on the goddamn breast milk. Never let him off until it was this. Now, I don't agree with nobody laying hands on nobody. I don't agree with that at all. I don't care if it's a man or woman. Don't put your hands on me. That's called domestic violence. That shit, you need to be locked up. Woman hit me, I'm putting you on paper. I don't care. Well, she's a woman. Who cares? If the shoe's on the other foot, I best believe my ass be behind the jail, up under the jail. Promise you that. Nobody deserves to get their hands put on. I don't believe in that shit. Nobody.
Okay. The overlying point, I agree with you on that. But I am not putting the blame on the mother, because there's a lot of people that you've heard through times that have done bad stuff that come from good homes. You can only do so much for a kid and hope that they go by morals, ethics, and principles that you teach them. And there are anomalies in cases where you wondered, oh, you came from a good home. Why are you doing this? I do agree with the enabling of him being able to stay there. But a mother's love is a mother's love. To a certain point, we don't know how he conducts himself with her. I get what you're saying. And I get the DV thing. Yeah, that shouldn't have been there, but she allowed it to happen. That's no cause of her. She's actually an accomplice because she cleaned up and lied for her. But you're responsible for the mental violence that you do to people as well. You went laid down with that girl. You don't know what sweet lies he told her, and then put her through all kind of emotional stress that she got pushed to doing that, not risking getting put in a prison or jail or something for what she did to that man.
Yeah, but I got a little pushback for that because, you said what lies he told her, but I thought the man had like 7 kids or something like that. Like he already has a lot of children. So to procreate with someone who already has that many children, women know when you got a lot of kids. They know when.
It wasn't stated that she knew. I didn't hear that part.
Well, I'm just saying, getting to know a man, you should be getting to know if he has other kids or other people that he's responsible for.
Agreed, but a lot of men hide well.
That's true.
This is true.
That's true. And to Ken's point, he could have lied. We don't know how many lies he told her. And to Hank's point, I agree. DV is definitely not something that I agree with, but I also don't disagree with disciplinary actions. Uh, for example, child to parent to child, a spanking, so to speak. I have grown up on that, and I do believe in that. So that's kind of what I was referring to in reference to him getting the a whipping, is because it's like a spanking. It wasn't something that I thought of as, they didn't describe it as something that was significant. He didn't go to the hospital. He went home with her. And then after he went home with her, he called the cops on her. That's where I'm like, nah, you take that. Because if you have enough to go home with her, you have enough to take that and not go ahead and be immature to go ahead and now you call after you already left with her. So that's the reason why I said I understood that and he deserved that. But Future, let's take away the mother and aspect of it, because we seem to beat up on mothers sometimes. But as a parent, let's say a father, would you have let him stay with you? Probably not. And we need to take that into accountability, because that's the enabling part that we're speaking of. And the enabling part is, no, you don't continue to allow those efforts under your roof if you have that opportunity or that choice. And I don't think any man on this panel would agree that they would allow their son with 7 kids to continue to procreate under their roof. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Any gentlemen, do y'all disagree with that?
Look, I taught my son how to put on the condom. Do you know what to do? Why are you out here producing all these babies when you know you need to go get you some latex? So no, we're not doing that.
So that's what I'm saying. If we take, because we give grace when it comes to our women, which we often should, but there's certain times where accountability as mothers or as a parent, we need to be able to identify and address. And this is one of those times that can it be addressed?
Well, let me tell you, you know what? I don't have any sons. And you're right. We give grace not to the women, but to the children they bring back home. I've been through it in my family. The grace is extended to the children, and the mother gets a pass. That's what families do, because they don't. If you got a home and you got a daughter or a granddaughter, and she gets knocked up and she has a baby, you are not going to let the baby go out on the street. If you got any means, you're going to have them in your house. And that's what Black people do. So you're not really, de facto, the woman who has a kid gets a pass. But I've been through it, and I know what it means to a mother who has expectations for a daughter who gets pregnant out of wedlock. I know what it means. It's really not, a lot of people think they just accept that shit. It's really not true. It's really not true. I mean, I know firsthand, woman almost losing it all because she was so disappointed in her daughter who got pregnant. But once the baby gets here, that changes everything, right? And it really does. And I think that's a natural thing, not just in the Black family. I just think it's a natural thing. Because they're innocent. And no matter how you feel about the mother, when a kid comes here and they look up you and you're the grandmother or the mother, you're gonna melt like a cheap. You're gonna fold like a cheap suit. I swear. So in the situation I'm talking about, I don't want to get no more detail. The mother and granddaughter are closer than the mother and baby. Now, it just happened naturally, and I watched it from the outside looking in, and that's what happened in the Black community a lot. When these women get pregnant by themselves, they know, whether selfishly, that they have a support system in their family that's going to help them take care of this kid. And that's, I don't want to say it's part of the problem. It's just probably a natural thing, but it's also kind of a different kind of welfare. Besides the little check you're going to get, there's a place to go, to somebody who's going to keep your kids, and it's all that kind of stuff. So, and then in the best families, it's only Arrested Development. I'm gonna end it here. It's only Arrested Development because when I say Arrested Development, that if the mother was on a track to be a college graduate, it might take she might have to delay 3 or 4 years, but she'll get that degree. And the parent who was taking care of the kid, when the kid gets back on their feet, now they can go back about their business, and it happens a lot. So anyway, I'll leave that there. But back when the man does this thing, he's just a loser. He's just a loser. I mean, if you're a man just impregnating everybody, he's just a loser. There's no inherent value for this guy being in your house. If he ain't paying no bills, he's just eating your food, impregnating women on the outside. Those kids don't come to your house. They stay with the woman. And he has freedom just to do this. You need to kick his ass out.
Bang.
If I had a son like that, I'd be very disappointed he wouldn't be living in my house. I went around a mulberry bush to say that, but
man, EL, you emergency landing. Because you be going down for a landing and you take right back off.
You lying your ass off.
Listen to the words.
Lying your ass off.
You guys, man, Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna land here. You don't land for another hour.
Yeah, you guys treat me like an African, man. Stop it, man. Stop.
Oh man. You kind of ran all the way around it, but I was lost when you started bringing up the woman with the child, because I don't think anybody was disputing any of that. What I asked was if your son, as fathers, if our son.
Put it back around. I put it back around.
Yeah, you did. That at the end. That's what you came to.
I need to give you the contrast to understand the magnitude of what I was saying.
Okay.
I was waiting for you to give me the ingredients to peach cobbler.
You know what, man? I don't need to take this shit.
No, y'all paying. I got the.
Oh man, that's funny. All right. I'll sit here and wait for your guys to get over your diatribes as soon as
Yeah, the mom said that she would never let her son sleep on the street. And from what I know, most men, I mean, yeah, he ain't even got to sleep on the street. Most men will sleep on a buddy couch before they out sleeping on the street, but they're going to go out there, they're going to work, they're going to find, a lot of different gigs so they can get up on their feet and find their own place. So I think she definitely is an enabler. And there are a lot of moms who do this to their sons. They enable them. They have them in their house. They have this remorse that they feel for them. And these men are never going to turn into the men that they're supposed to be because their moms are harboring them in their homes. My question to you guys is, when is a good time for a man to leave his home? And I mean, not even, with marriage, you're leaving and cleaving, different relationships from your parents now onto your wife. But, I think that should happen a lot sooner as far as leaving the home. But when do you guys think is a comparable age for a man to leave home to soil his royal oats? Say not. He ain't coming to America, but when exactly do you think he should leave?
Well, you kind of just mentioned.
I think it depends on his life choices. If he decides he want to go to college, and decide to go, say, out of state, or out of the city where he resides in, that will probably be a good time. Or if he decide to go to the military, I think that'll be a good time. But I know, like with my son, I told my son, as long as you're in school and you're doing what you need to do, you always got a room at my house. Now, once you get to the point where you talking grown and act like you're grown, then yeah, you have to get the fuck out. But as long as you can abide by my rules and follow the directions, you can stay here as long as you need to. But we're going to have a plan. We're going to have an exit plan too. We're not just going to just hang out and just do all this for the rest of your life. No, we're not doing that. But we're going to have an exit plan at the same time. After you graduate, what is our plan? What is our move? We going to grad school, or are we gonna go try to go get your master's? What are we doing? So for sure. But I don't have a set age or time frame of date unless he forces me to because he's acting grown.
Yeah, you both kind of answered the question. My answer, you said sowing the wild oats, when to sow his wild oats, Precious, and that is part of what Hank said. If you're going to sow your wild oats, that's a different scenario. But to the point that Hank was making, if there's a plan or you have some responsibilities, I used to think there was an age or time set, but now that I'm older and I'm starting to see the value of other cultures and how they bond together and have a plan to build together, I'm changing my whole perspective on it. To whereas if it's something that is for the totality of our community, being our family, and we have that idea, that's kind of where I'm leaning towards now. But if you're just going out to sow your wild oats, then you're not on the same page that I'm speaking of, and therefore you can go ahead and get out. But if we're building something as a structure so that we all can have a foundation, which is where my mindset is now, then by all means, if we're all on the same page, you can stay as long as you need to.
Okay. Kenny?
Well, if you're in a 2-parent home, if you're steering your child right, you'll know what their finances look like. You'll know what their direction is. You don't ever want to push someone out there too early where they're going to fail. I see a lot of parents that I grew up around wanting to push their kids out, force them out, and they don't have the skills to survive. And then they end up coming back in worse shape. So it's an appropriate time. And as for the sowing your royal oats, no, you're not doing that unless you're ready to build a homestead, and that'll be done properly through values like the things that Hank spoke about. You're not doing this and that because there's cause and effect, and I don't want you to fail. You're gonna have yourself financially stable before you go and even think about those endeavors, because that's almost a lifelong build for you while you're trying to build your financial wellness. You're not gonna do that and also live in here. You got to pick either or. I want you financially well, standing on your own, so you don't have to return home. Only visit.
Okay. And our pain? How about you? Oh, you were on mute. You're on mute.
Yeah. Listen, my kids will be able to stay with me as long as they do what I say, just like everybody else says. I have daughters. When they graduated from college, they came home. My ideal thing was that somebody would come and marry my oldest one and take her off my hands, but that didn't happen. But she got old enough and she needed to leave. But by the time she left, she was well on her way to being financially secure, at least, because she banked all her money. If I had a son, I'd make him do the same thing. You come home, here's the rules. And for the boy, number one would be, you ain't stroking no chicks in my house. That's number one. You ain't the only person stroking in my house is me. So you got to find a place. If you got a vice, you got to find a place to do it. But it ain't gonna be here. That's one. But two, while you're here, don't worry about the rent. Don't worry about this. But this is what you have to do with your finances. You got a job. Here's the 401k plan. You got some extra money. Here's your Roth IRA. Here's your brokerage account, and you're gonna stack money as long as you're here. And when you're ready to go, then you can leave. And if it gets too much being under my tutelage and shit, then you got to go. But I want them to be prepared for the outside world, and that's what I would do. That's what I have for my daughters. If I had a son, it would be the same way.
Okay. So pretty much what I heard everyone say is if you're going to stay home, you're going to have a plan. There needs to be a plan in place. You're not just going to stay here. You're going to be saving. You're going to be setting up accounts in which you can invest, or inquire about long-term investments. And if you want to leave, then at least you'd be equipped to leave. You'd be financially equipped to actually live on your own. So that all makes sense. That all makes a lot of sense. So that was the one thing that was lacking in the relationship between the mother and the son. There was no plan. He just came back home. She allowed him to stay there. There was no, you're going to be helping with these bills. There was no, save your money. You got all these kids, I mean, having all those kids, I don't even know how you could save money, but there was no plan. We don't know how old that this man is, but having 7 kids, I mean, you would think he's at least, in his mid-20s, I would say, early 30s. I don't know. But he had no plan. So I heard everyone say, hey, look, you can stay home as long as you have a plan, as long as you're following my rules, as long as we can get along, things of that nature. So I agree with all of that. I definitely agree with all of that. Someone did say in the chat, though, I saw it. Where did I see it? Oh man, I don't see it now. It was something about parents allowing kids to learn from their mistakes. I don't see it now. But that was, why are we afraid to have our kids learn from a failure?
That's self-explanatory.
Is that anyone's sentiment?
That's self-explanatory. If I know that you do this thing and I know proactively, seeing how it will play out, it will cost you time, money, resources. I'm going to step in and say, I see where this is. Let's sit down and meet and parse this through. I do not want you doing this because this is the end result. Because most younger individuals are reactive rather than proactive. No, you should be able to do that. There's only certain things. Okay, don't touch that fire. You got burned. All right, good. You go get that little young girl pregnant and intend to keep it. That's not a bill until that child is able to take care of themselves. You're responsible for that. Now you have a job. Now I'm no longer daddy. I'm grandpa. And grandpa, I need you to watch the kid and stuff like that. Now you're putting burdens. Not saying your grandchild's a burden. Now you're you're infringing on other people's time now.
So I agree. One of the things I would back on the point with that the failure, you got to be honest with your kids. If you have real experience to tell them, you got to tell them the real experience. Like if I'm gonna tell, if I'm gonna tell one of the young guys or whatever, listen, you can't be going raw, and let me tell you why. All right, because I'm gonna tell you about the weeks that I had to spend up and waiting for that phone call from the chick that I went raw with to give me the call that who missed her period finally got it. You don't want those nights worrying about whether you're going to be a daddy or not. So here's how you could avoid that. Make sure that you strap up no matter what, because I'm telling you, it's a feeling that you don't want. And if you actually get caught out there, oh yeah, you're 18 now. You're going to be on the hook till you're 38 to almost 40 years old paying child support. You're not going to have no say on anything, and they're going to just garnish your pay for 18 to 21 years. Do you want to live like that? So you got to scare these guys. You got to let them know, because the male instinct to procreate, to have sex, is one of the greatest natural instincts that we have. Men always argue with me about that, but it's been that way since the beginning of time. So all these rules that we make and all this horse shit that we talk about, we're the leaders and all that, the right piece of woman in front of you, all that shit goes out the window. For a lot of men, 90% of them, until you get to the age of discernment. So anyway, I would say for a young man, you got to tell them the consequences. That's what you got to drum into their heads until they get it. And you got to tell them the truth, that if you made a mistake, you got to let them know you did it. And I'm telling you this, so I don't want you to. I'll end it.
All right. Well,
Man, yo, hello. That wasn't that long. Go on. You
No,
know?
you were
Man,
good. You were good. You were good.
I'm just happy you landed when you say you was gonna land. That's all. I'm proud of you. Man.
Oh my God.
We have Real Bravado Network. Like the platform with $5 says some drive by support for the good brother Hank. Thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate you. All right. And we do have some more people in the chat. Thank you guys for joining so much. I hope you did hit that like button as well as share the stream with someone that helps us in the algorithm as well. If you think someone needs to hear this message, our next topic we're going to get into is the main topic of the evening. Do men feel bad about using women for sex? We do have an open panel, so if you'd like to join the panel, the link is at the top of the chat. Definitely have some respect when you get on this panel, because if you don't, you will be escorted to the door. Okay, I'm letting you know that now. All right, Trey, thank you so much for being here. If you'd like to join, definitely hit that link on the top of the chat. But I'm going to play this video for our last topic of the evening. I saw this on someone's social media a couple days ago, maybe 2 days ago, and I said, you know what, I posted it to my Instagram page, and I said we're going to talk about this on Monday, because I think that, again, women think one thing, men think another thing. This is the men's panel, so we always want to hear what you guys have to say, your perspective, gain some understanding, and if there's any conflicting thoughts and views, we'll go over that. But I wanted to hear what you guys had to say about this one. So again, do men feel bad about using women for sex? Okay.
Situation with a woman where you know you were using her for sex, like you knew that and you felt bad about it.
Felt bad about it now.
Did it? Yeah.
Bad, no.
No. Okay. Why not?
Cause she knows.
But did she accept it, or like you could tell
she had to accept it.
You said, "I just want to have sex with you." It's a microphone in front of you.
You know when a girl wants something more than sex. Like a lot of women, y'all will put it on a man thinking that that's going to change his mind or convince him to do something else. Once I feel a way about you, that's it.
That is wild to hear a man say, like, you know when a woman is just willing to put up with whatever the bring to the table because she just wants to be with you. What do you think are some examples of that?
I don't respond to your text for hours.
Say it again, because somebody needs to hear that.
When does your man never not have his phone on him? When is it ever dead?
When does anybody ever not have their phone on them?
Most women break rules for the man that they want, and they make rules for the man that they settling for.
All right. So, I mean, guys, do men feel bad about using women for sex?
No.
Somebody getting a booty call right now. I'm just kidding.
No, men don't feel bad. A lot of times they justify it because they feel that women are using them for their money, and that's usually who doesn't feel bad. Usually, honorable men ain't using a woman for sex. So, but those who are using women for sex, there's usually a reason, and they don't feel bad because they justify it. Whether the reason is good or not, we can argue, we can have a conversation about. But if they're using them for sex, they understand why they're using them. They sometimes put out the bait to attract those who they feel just want them or just need to get sex from them. And women adjust to it, as the last comment was saying. Women adjust accordingly. They adjust to what they want and what they feel they like. And so, we started it out earlier. I was talking about the games. I always talked about the men not playing games. Earlier today, the woman was playing the game, and I don't agree with any games. And that's part of a game that I just wish we could stop playing.
A lot of men have an urge that they wish to fulfill. So I'm not going off of any stats, but just my eye view. Of course, men don't want the majority of the women that they encounter, and that their attraction is there. And if they can get sex without the least path of resistance, they're gonna take it. Like the guy that says he's your friend and you know he just wants to chill with you, try offering him some buns. Try calling them at 1 in the morning. I was thinking, you doing anything? You want to come over? Then you'll see your ratios of how much men are interested in quenching that urge, because they said most men, only a third of men are actually having sex. So there's a lot of men out here craving, and the other ones got strong hands. Yeah, of course. Men tend to get in relationships when they get older, when their libido slows down, and they want someone to just be there, and they learn conversational skills and to value women that much more. When you're younger, it's hard not to say it's your whole phase. And the majority of the time, until you get that out your system, some take a longer time, but you know, it's there. If it can be had, men will take it. I don't see too many men saying, I don't want to do that. I'll land right there.
So the question are men feeling bad? Is that what you said, Precious?
About using women for sex, yeah.
No, I didn't. Especially when I knew she was a hoe. Man, I didn't feel shit. I know somebody said, well, that's somebody's daughter. Well, I'm somebody's son. But they don't stop them from taking advantage of me when they feel like they can, or they should, or they do. So, you know, look, man, I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel nothing. I just wanted to get that feeling. I just want to get that poison up out of me. That's all I wanted. I mean, I was. I mean, there was times where I got some chicks I knew I shouldn't have been knocking down. I mean, you know, but they got a thing called the drought season, man. When cats go on drought season, whatever, however long it's been for them, they'll knock damn near off anything. God damn, I mean, this chick was about 250. I know I should have been touching her, but that drought season hit me. What are you supposed to do? I had a chick in college, man. She was ugly as hell in the face, but that body, God damn, hell of a body. No, I shouldn't have been touching her, but I knocked her down. So, I didn't feel shit for them women, not at all. I just felt like I needed to get what I needed to get off. Now, if it's a woman who I have feelings for, you know what I'm saying, that's different. Do I feel bad? Yeah, I feel bad. You know, I gave that going away sex, you know what I'm saying, that I know it's going to be the last time I talk to you, but, you know, I just want to hit it one more time, you know what I'm saying, so I can reminisce in case I go through another drought and have to knock down one of these ugly chicks again. So, you know, it is what it is. Ain't what you laughing at. It ain't funny.
Well, our pain. Do men feel bad about using women for sex?
It is a funny question. Listen, no, the rank and file guy never feels sorry for getting laid, especially if he counts what he has to do to get it. Now, if a man can honestly seduce a woman to having sex with her, that guy, he may, in fact, once in a while feel a little remorse that he seduced the kind of woman to have sex, because he knows what her intentions is with him and he has no intentions with her. But he'd get over it real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because most men can't really seduce women like that. You got to have a good kind of game to do it. Most women, when they have sex with you, it's because they want to. So you don't never have to feel remorse for having sex with them, because if they didn't want to have sex with you, you ain't getting them. So, like I said, the only exceptions are the guys who seduce women. No, one woman's an easy mark and another woman's a little bit more challenging. The easy mark, he might feel a little bit remorse until the door hits him on the way out. And that's it. But other than that, you know, it's a fair game thing when you have sex with a woman that's consensual all the way around.
Thank you. Trey, thank you so much for joining the panel. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. So I'm sure, did you see the video? Or
Yeah,
hear
I
it?
saw it.
All right. So, do men feel bad about using women? I already know what you're going to say, but we're going to hear it anyway. Do men feel bad about using women for sex?
You don't know me, Precious. You don't know
You're a
me.
couple of panels of praying, you got them down pat.
These modern men today, yeah, they feel really bad. These lover boys, these soy boys, these suckers for love out here, these emotional men raised by their mamas, yeah, they making love out here. So yeah, they feel bad. They feel real bad. Me, on the other hand, nah, never, not once. I have never ever felt bad about using a woman for sex, because the truth of the matter is that I have never been with a woman who didn't allow me to be with her. So I couldn't have used her no more than what she wanted me to use her for. So no, I've never felt bad about it at all, and I never will. There will never come a time, and I done jumped on some grenades. I was in the military, and you had to take one for the team. You had to go get the the hefty chick, the thicker one that you wasn't really quite interested in. So your boy could get the other ones. You know what I mean? And I took one for the team. It's all about teamwork and working as a unit. Especially when you're in close quarters like that in the military. So yeah, and I definitely knew nothing was coming out. And one time I was in Miami, I took one. Jumped on a grenade for a homeboy. Crazy part is it was actually good. That's the sad part. But anyway, no, I don't feel bad about it. I never will. But I do think though these modern men, these guys who are in their feelings these days. If you notice, the guy gave a feminine response. He started talking about who doesn't have their phone, and if he doesn't reply back, and I don't reply back in a orderly fashion or immediate fashion at all. If you text me, it may be 6 hours may go by before you get a reply, because I just don't pay attention to my phone like that. So these younger guys, yeah, they feel real bad. They soft out here. But me, nah, I'm cool.
Well, all right. So, all of you are pretty much saying, hey, I had sex with you. You present yourself this way. You allowed me to have sex with you. So why should I feel bad about it? Right. So we're going to run the video back one more time, and we're just going to go kind of pick it apart a little bit, because I have a brother, I played on teams. I do my due diligence to study men. I don't think that women necessarily do the same thing or have been in the same arenas or atmospheres. And a lot of women really just don't know. And it's a shame, but a lot of them really just don't know. I think sometimes that's what these podcasts are. Sometimes it's just, hey, we need something to talk about. But sometimes women really don't know. A lot of times you'll see a lot of these social media posts where women are just asking these crazy questions. And it's like, how do you not know the answer to these questions? So I'm going to play it again. I'm going to stop it at a couple of parts. Okay.
Have you ever had a situation with a woman where you were using her for sex? Like you knew that and you felt bad about it?
Felt bad about it? No.
Did it? Yeah.
Bad? No.
No. Okay. Why not?
Because she knows.
But did she accept it?
All right. So I'm going to stop it right there. She goes, but did she accept it? Right. So men don't necessarily, men are naturally givers. Women are naturally receivers. Okay. It's kind of like the plug. Some people need visuals. Okay. This is the man. This is the woman. Okay. The man enters the woman. All right. Most times when the man enters the woman, he is releasing into her, and she's being charged up. All right. Once he then takes his thing out, all right, there is no more charge. There is no more connectivity. All right. a lot of times women will take that charge that they get from men and they will then try to formulate all these questions in their head. Does he like me? What are we now? What is his intent with me? And things of that nature, in which naturally that's going to happen. But if you don't properly vet a man, and if you don't probably study men, I should say, because before you even vet a man, you should be studying men, because that's who you want to spend the rest of your life with, right? You should have some type of understanding on this person of the opposite sex of you. So, you are, so a lot of these women, I don't believe, are studying men, because she asks, well, does she accept it? And the fact of the matter is, you're accepting whatever that man is giving, you are receiving. And so if you sleep with him on the first night, you have accepted that you have let a stranger come into your body, whether figuratively or figuratively or realistically. He's entering into your body, and you have to accept that, right? If you've known this guy maybe for 2 or 3 weeks and you truly not sure where y'all are, and then you go and have sex, you have accepted that this is just something that you haven't defined, and you're just having sex with this man. So to ask a man if the woman accepts it, you're a woman. You know what you're accepting and what you're not accepting. You know that you're making up stories in your head that probably aren't true. You know that you barely, Hey Wife School Podcast, you know that you don't truly know this man. You know you don't truly know his intent. You know you don't know for certain these things. You can speculate, because like the man said, if the man ain't calling you back, if he not picking up the phone call, he not texting you, you know that you're not getting the attention that you would like from this particular man, right? And it's usually the men that the women want that don't want them. So you know that you're giving him a lot more attention, and he's not paying you any mind or the attention that you would like, you know. So to ask the question, but does she accept it? Of course she's accepting it. Do she like it? Is she really becoming one with reality and the truth? No, but she's accepting that this man is sleeping with her, and she's getting that type of attention from him. Okay, so we're gonna go on. But hey, the Wife School Podcast, how are you?
Hey.
So that's number one. So ladies, don't ask if the woman accepts it, or don't try to formulate in your mind like, oh, well, he's sleeping with me, so he's not necessarily using me. Maybe he'd like me, or maybe no, he's being a man and he's doing what men do, and that is use that thing that down there. They thinking with the small head at this point, okay?
Or like you could tell
She had to accept it.
You said I.
And like he said, she had to accept it. So this is not a forced type of entry. This isn't like, oh, well, I'm making you do this. No, she laid down just like he laid down, and she continued to open her legs to this man, which means you're accepting whatever the situation is before you even have any type of clarity on it. You're accepting it.
Just want to have sex with you. It's a microphone in front of you.
You know when
Now that part, I'm gonna stop right there, because she said, well, did you tell her you just want to have sex with her? And this is that part that I don't know if it happens quite like this, like he said, like he shook his head.
Or like you could tell
She had to accept it.
You said I just want to have sex with you. It's a microphone in front of you.
So I'm gonna stop it right there, okay? Because I don't know if that part always usually happens. So I'm gonna ask you guys, because I don't want to assume. Okay. When you just want to have sex with the woman, do you make that known, or are you, hey, beautiful, good morning, you look beautiful today, blah 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 blah, until you get them draws? Like, are you saying, hey, I find you very physically I'm physically attracted to you. I want to know what that be like. So what's up? Like, what? how does that go down? Because you see, she asked him the question. He was verbal, very verbal with everything that she asked him, but on that part, he shook his head. So the truth will, the truth don't need no proof. Like it rolls off, it flows. But that particular question, he was a little mute. The cat had his tongue until she had to remind him that he could speak into the mic. Like that's pretty much what she said. So guys, when you just, and be honest, when you just want to have sex with a woman, are you straight up and honest with her? Or is there some cat and mouse play there?
Most of the time, men are not. I suggest that they do so because, of course, you can be honest and you'll be surprised. I have been honest on a lot of occasions, and the results was I got sex, quite frankly. So the point is yes, you can do it. Did I do it always? No. And now do I do it? Absolutely, because I'm tired of the games, and that's why, like I said, that's part of the game is not doing it, and stop playing the games is what I'm an advocate of. So, do men do it? Probably not, but should they do it? I think they should. And to the point that you was making, again, she knows that she wanted the D, and do you just say you just want the D? That goes both ways.
So who's next? Oh, who's next? Go ahead.
That's far and few in between. Every woman, even a hoe, and I'm gonna say it, likes to feel special for at least a little bit. There's presentation. Put your leg up in there. I want some of that. Yo, that being crude 90% of the time, I would dare to say 95% of the time ain't gonna get you no box unless you're talking to a lady that gets money for that. There got to be some kind of presentation that leads to that. It could be a one-night stand. Okay, I find you attractive. Okay, I'm going to treat you like a human being. This is a consensual thing between two adults. The most you could tell me is no after me showing you that I was a gentleman about asking. And that be that. I land right there.
Wait, so you're saying the very direct approach doesn't work unless she sells her box?
No, I'm not saying that. I said in cases percentage-wise, that would work with you met a woman out of nowhere and you see her and you're like, yeah, I want some sex. That's not going to work 95% of the time. And the only case I could see that working in is if a lady, that's her profession. Like I originally stated, that there has to be some window dressing on it. You have to show some appeal and see if this could work. One night stand at a club. Hey, wine and dine, treat you like a lady. Hey, we're two consensual adults. I don't want the night to end. Could I have a nightcap? What you doing later? Give her hints. I think that'll work. Most you can get is a no.
Sex, if you just want sex, that's the approach you say.
If by the way you're leading on, if I'm giving you a setting, if you were in a club, I saw you, and that was my intent. Like Sean would say, I'd be truthful, but I would give some window dressing. I'm not just gonna outright ask you for it. I'm gonna make the night pleasant enough that I can at least have that on the table to at least ask you. The most you could give me is a no.
I don't want the hour to end.
Listen, I grew up listening to smooth dudes get smooth dudes that sing sweet get panties thrown at them. I believe it can happen.
Okay.
Yeah. And to your point, Ken, I just want to say that how you do it is not what I'm saying. But to do it, how you say smooth, it's done all the time. Like it's done all the time. Just in ways that it don't got to be deceptive. It's done all the time. Look, baby,
Sean,
I'm always on the road. I don't really got time for a relationship, but I really enjoy who you are, what you about. Blah, 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 blah. It's done all the time.
Sean, you use that word all. Only 1/3 of men are having sex. It's not being done all the time.
Okay,
Then
my
you have,
fault.
then
It's
you
done
also,
often.
I'm using stats. Then you have those men
Agreed.
bold enough. You have those men bold enough to go up to a woman and say, "I want some pum pum," and either risk getting mace or bear spray in their face, or getting slapped or worse. You. That does not happen all the time.
I use the word all loosely. I agree with you, but the point that I'm making is that I've seen it happen in all the ways you just described. Directly, I've seen it happen smoothly. I've seen it happen to where women have told me, yo, if he would have just said that, I would have preferred that, so I have a choice. I've seen it happen. So I'm not saying the approach or the method of doing it. I'm just saying we ain't got to play the games, because a lot of people are over the games.
Sean, I'm not challenging that it happens, but the frequency that you speak of, I doubt it.
Agreed. We in agreement there, because people don't do it frequently. Both men and women play the game, and that's why I advocate stop playing the game.
Sean, you're right. When's the last time somebody came up to you, the Wife School podcast, and asked you for that cookie? Just like, hey, you look nice, give me that.
When's the last time somebody said that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, today.
Sean, I think you got me.
All right, let me get it off her.
Point debunked.
Let's get it off her. So, Sean, I don't agree with you told me about what you saying. Look here, a hoe don't deserve the truth, so I'm gonna lie to a goddamn hoe in a minute. I ain't got no problem with lying to a hoe. She's a goddamn hoe. Ain't nothing good about a heifer that's a hoe. So she deserve a goddamn lie. So I'm not gonna tell her the truth what I'm out here to do for her. I'm down here to get some cheeks. That's just what it was when I was out there. Now, fortunately for my lady, I'm no longer out there no more, so that ain't my agenda. But when I was out there, I didn't give a shit. I was numb. I'm out there to try to conquer every woman I thought I could, and a hoe never got the truth. Now, a woman who had feelings for and I care and respected, yeah, I told her the truth. But when I was telling the truth, I wasn't telling the truth to try to just get some cheeks. I was trying to get into a relationship with the woman.
So how you approach the hoes? How you approach the hoes?
You said what?
How you approach the hoes?
I'm gonna tell the hoe whatever she need to hear to get them cheeks on. Whatever it takes. That's what I'm gonna tell a hoe. Now, I'm lying my ass. Girl, you look good. You probably don't. Girl, that outfit good on you, man. I like the way you was. Man, that was some good booty you gave me last night. It probably was trash. But I just wanted to get mine on, so I didn't give a shit. Huh?
You want the trash booty again?
You're right. That is really the case that with most men, and that's why I challenge men, because that's some bullshit to me. I ain't lying. Because I'm not lying because of the woman. I'm not lying because that's who I am as a man.
Great. That's your game. Run your game, and I'll run mine.
Yeah, but
absolutely.
You like to say hoes. I don't. I don't give a goddamn.
I like to not make hoes, and you do. That's kind of where I'm at with it.
They was already a hoe before you started talking to her.
I can't make what she already is. I can't make what she already is.
Because you can't. Because you lying to her, and she believes in you.
I didn't make a hoe. She made herself one. I didn't make her give me the booty. She volunteered it.
You did. You lied to her. You deceived her to get the booty. What are you talking about? Yes, you did.
Oh, yeah, well, no, that part is true. I've deceived a couple hoes to get some ass.
Sean, you got to stop this shy brother thing. It's not
Sean,
really working out.
He is absolutely correct. Even though we know that men approach us, it's really up to us if we open up that door or not. For real. Even if I am a hoe, even if I'm not a hoe, if I don't want to be the hoe that day, if I decide to say no, that's me deciding to say no. And if I say yes, that is me accepting that invite, whether it's by omission or not.
Thank you. Thank you.
Look,
And
I told you.
yeah, sorry.
You ever heard a
I
line
told
that
y'all.
made you give in?
You got lover boys out here. You got people out here that's falling in love, and they not out here having sex for pleasure. They are emotional out here, and sex means something to them. It means something. It's more than just pleasure to them. I think that's obvious. At the end of the day, listen. This is how I deal with women when I'm out. Much like I did traffic stops when I was in law enforcement. You determine how this is gonna go. Give me bad attitude, I'm gonna give you bad attitude back. You give me good attitude, this is gonna go well. You probably get a warning going on about your day. If I get the feeling that you're delusional, then I'm gonna work the delusional angle. If I get the feeling that you a hoe, I'm gonna work the hoe angle. And if I get the feeling that you are you a grown woman on yours, and you know what time it is, I'm gonna work that angle. I can just be flat out honest with you. I want this, you want that, bing bang boom, we can go do what we need to do. I'll let you dictate it. I'm not gonna sit here and try to, I got a cape on, and it's cloaked in invisibility, and I'm trying to save you from your hoe tendencies. You was already a hoe before I met you. I'm just trying to figure out what type of hoe are you. You an honest hoe? You a delusional hoe? But you a hoe nonetheless. And I'm gonna treat you as you are. Because the type of women that I wouldn't deal with probably wouldn't be at the bar or wherever function I'm finding you at. That's probably not somewhere I would look for a wife anyway. So you a hoe, and I'm gonna treat you that way. But you dictate it. It depends on you.
That's so mean.
Can I just add before you got some guests up here real quick?
Amen.
Real quick. Listen. Most men I know have never had sex with a woman that didn't want to give them sex first. We got to stop all this bullshit trying to take their agency away from them like we got some kind of goddamn control. If we want sex, most women, when you approach them, they know you want to bust those cheeks, man. I mean, how many women don't think that when you approach them and you don't want to, how it goes and all that other shit is secondary. If I don't know you and I ask you on a date or I ask you here and that, what do you think I want to do? Play fucking spades and shit? I want to knock this shit out.
All pain.
Right? And so what?
Language.
Sorry, I'm sorry for cursing. But the point is that when your man meets a woman, she already knows that he wants to knock it out. And how that happens and transpires, okay, we could talk about that. But let's not be naive. You're a woman, I'm a man. We naturally know that you got the nice man cave, and I got the rod. Stop it. Everything else is just crap. All right, I'll leave it at that.
What's going on?
I agree.
Camera. But real life, I think some of these men in their 30s and 40s kind of got history mixed up, Precious.
Schoolers, let us know, girl.
Well, I can, because I'm old enough to let you know, baby. What are y'all talking about trying to mix black women and other women history together? See, hold on. This is all I'm asking you, sir, before you run your mouth. Thank you. Why would you take another woman's history and tell her that's what she's supposed to be when her history is your history? Because you'll never say, I stood in that cotton field, that guard, because not every nigga pick cotton, you understand?
It's a country girl.
Trader Chappelle.
Oh, my Lord. Could we see your face, Miss Sherry? Please?
Y'all done seen my face a billion times.
I ain't see your face, not yet. I want to see you sipping that Ripple and talking to me. I want to see them pretty brown eyes.
Don't be acting like I buy expensive drink because I be broke sometime. And I'll be sitting right on your... Never know mine. You want me to tell on you? Don't be trying to be
His
slick,
face? You better
nephew.
send him his face. What's going on?
Don't be trying to be slick, nephew. I love you, but I don't like it because
Miss
this
Sherry.
here is the thing. No, I see it, baby. I seen it a long time ago.
You seen
And I
it?
keep, yeah, I seen it. That's my word. I
I
seen
believe
it.
you.
You got a problem with my word?
Oh, ma'am. You know Sugar Avery?
Wait a minute.
No, but I do know whoop your ass ably.
Oh, you Miss Sophia.
Wow.
Okay.
Hey, y'all stop. Come on. I want to hear
I'm
what
all of them. I'm
we
all
started picking cotton. So I just want to see where this is going.
No, this all I'm saying, baby, is that they sit here, the African man, you African. I'm not from you. No, sir, I'm not. And you can't make, just because we got the same skin, don't mean we can, sir. I'm not from you. And that's what a lot of people do. I love Africans, but I don't love what they come over here and do. Because if you pay close attention, they separate the black woman from the black man. The black woman ain't shit. She just thumping her ass all in the yard, but you ain't talking about them black women you left thumping their ass all on dirt roads. With them funky ass tie strings, material, whatever they want to call them. I don't care. I don't have no respect for it. And I'm not going to have no respect for it. Respect me, brother, when I talk to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody
Oh,
with
you're
the
so true.
same skin ain't kin, bro. And they ain't. And you better watch out because they come over here. You know what they're trying to be? The new niggas. They coming over here, they telling you don't respect black women. They destroying everything that black folks have already built. They disrespected my grandmother by calling her a mammy, but bitch, you wasn't even good enough to come over here and be a
Not
mammy.
bitch. Rona, this your fault too.
Said what I said, let me tell you, they call my daddies dusty, dirty dolphins, but my daddy ain't never been thirsty. He walked paved roads, and he might have worn blue or red or something like that. But you ain't gonna talk about my daddy like that. You funky, filthy ass African.
Very done.
Or whoever. No, I need to say this because I've heard it for years. No, that is, my father was a hard working man.
Talk your
Every
shit.
day. I gave him a hug. I got up and I said, thank you, Daddy. I love my daddy. I don't know how I was saying thank you to my daddy, but for some reason, he appreciated it.
Yeah.
Now, this what I can say. We wasn't riding down dirt roads on motorcycles and all that dumb moped, dumb shit. Y'all still do today. But y'all will run from your country and tell me my daddy ain't shit so you can marry me for a green card, bitch. You better get the fuck up out of here.
All right.
But that's all they doing. Listen to what I'm telling you. This is how the game being played. They separating the black man from the black woman. They are still going by the William Lynch theory. They think they can separate you. Don't let them separate us. Let that black woman go home and she make you mad. Just say, all right, baby, either you need a hug or something.
We agree with you. We agree with you. We
Miss
understand
Sherry.
that. We
Miss
agree.
Sherry, I got a question.
Hey, Sherry, what generation are you?
None of
I-
your
I-
goddamn
I'm just curious. I'm not asking. I'm not asking. I'm not asking your age. I'm just asking what generation. Are you a baby? Are you a baby? Are you a
She's
are
in the
you a
good
baby boomer?
generation, Trey.
Are you a baby boomer?
Yeah, I knew he was going there.
Are you a baby boomer, Sharon?
Hey, you gotta mute.
She's in hard
I'm a
pain.
little ugly lady. But you don't ask me how old that's disrespect.
Ma'am, I didn't ask you how old you are. I asked you what generation you were. It's two different questions.
Nigga, if you ask me what, nigga, do 1 + 1 equal 2?
All right, Sherry.
Ask me what generation
He's being respectful to you. He's being respectful to you. He's being respectful to you. You shouldn't. Let's not disrespect one another.
But
I told him I was a baby boomer once, and I haven't heard the last of it yet.
Yeah, he thought he was. Look at that baby. He thought he was slick. You ain't that slick. I'm too old of a cat. I'm too old of a cat. Okay.
Sherry, thank you so much. I do want to get some of the other. I do want to get some of the other panelists. World Class might be back. I think he may be having connection issues. Alexis,
I just want to bless your channel. I love you. You always hold your composure. I wish you let go sometimes.
Say
And be like,
composure again.
you motherfuckers. But you won't.
Bro, okay. I know the Lord. If I didn't, I might be like that.
Okay,
Sure.
I'm gonna calm down. I just won't see what's gonna happen next.
All right, love. Thank you. All right, so Alexis from Texas is here. Thank you so much for being on the panel. Love, what would you like to add? What would you like to add?
Woo! I didn't know where we were for a minute. I was like, oh man, whoa. But I'm back. Here we
All
are.
right.
Like, whoa, woo. But anyway, I feel on the topic as far as like men using women for sex, I think they do, but I think it's a even exchange in a sense. I also feel there's a percentage of people that do get used. There was a conversation that I had with some girls that I went to school with, and we had brought up like one of the girls were saying something like how she had made the comment like, "Oh, I ain't never like got played." The conversation was like, "Have you ever got played for sex?" And she was like, "Nah, I ain't never." And we all were like looking at her like, "Girl, stop!" Like you ain't got a lie to kick it.
Hold on, cause I ain't never.
All right.
No,
But I don't want
Miss
to.
Sherry.
I respect my elders. I respect my elders.
Miss Sherry, she ain't talking about you. She talking about her own experience. Go on mute.
What
Go
I'm
on
trying
mute.
to say is, this all I'm trying to say is, you men are willing to listen. Please, son, can you please listen to me for a little bit? Please, baby, mama trying to talk to you. Can you please listen? What I'm saying is, when I met my husband, we grew up together, everything. He went away, I went away. I was in ROTC, tried the military. I don't brag about that. That ain't nothing I brag about. But when he said, babe, what would whatever, I didn't take it like that. But now I hear y'all young men saying, what does it take? How much do it cost? And women don't have the answer. So, can I give you the answer? When a man asks you what's it's gonna cost, the rest of his motherfucking life.
God dang. Jeez.
Very point blank. And don't be playing when you said it. If he worth you getting your body to, that's the rest of his life. And nigga, that's the rest of mine. I sacrificed for you. Who the fuck made you think you any better than anybody else.
Talking shit.
We all been here. Don't stop repeating my history with white woman history. I'm a black bitch that was nappy-headed in a cotton field with your ass, and my hair was just as nappy and cotton as the cotton field. Only difference was one was white and one was black. We ain't gonna keep doing this dumb black men don't love black women shit. Cause
You
I
gotta,
know y'all.
Precious, you gotta clip this.
Tired of this conversation.
This is a classic.
It really is. Well, and Hank and Trey, I would say this: I'm a sucker for love, nigga. So I get where y'all coming from, and I don't dispute it. I understand it. I just, like I said, I want there to be some love out there. So that's why I stand in the positions that I stand in when I go ahead and stand against what y'all are talking about. But it is just, and I understand
You
it,
got a
and I respect it.
beautiful voice.
We just
You got a beautiful voice.
Love yourself, Sean. Don't love these hoes,
we
man. Love
just
yourself.
we just gonna skip past I'm a black bitch. We just gonna
Wait,
act like that.
She called a class. What do you want us to do with this for a
Okay,
class? Exactly. What exactly do you want us to do?
I'll give
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
I am a mother of 8 sons the same age as y'all. Y'all realize that, though.
Yes, ma'am.
Really,
What exactly is your age? What generation?
None. Let me tell you.
Yes, ma'am. We understand. Yes, ma'am.
There. All right. So was Alexis?
I was trying. I was.
Were you done, love?
Look.
Go ahead,
And
Lexus.
I see housewives up in here.
Now I feel like I'm in
Miss Shirley.
Big Mama's house, sure.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Alexis was about to tell us something, Miss Shirley.
Well,
Go ahead,
let
Miss
us hear
Alexis.
it.
Okay, Miss
Alexis,
Alexis. Go ahead,
Alexis
Miss
can wait. Alexis can wait. It's Sherry time.
No,
Oh.
no,
It's not
don't
church.
do that. I
Oh, my
know
bad.
your
All right, I'm gonna put a stop to
voice.
this.
Okay.
Miss Sherry, Miss
I
Sherry,
know your
Miss
voice.
Sherry, Miss Sherry. With all due
I'm
respect,
being
man, we
real.
have
I'm
other
being
Miss
quiet.
Sherry, Miss Sherry.
I had to kick
Yeah.
Miss
Hey,
Sharon. All right, because we have to have other people
right.
give their perspective and their opinions. It was all fun and game. Miss Sharon gave us a little laugh. She tickled my little pants. Okay, she was funny. If Trey wanted to bring it back to the age, we got to keep moving on. Okay, it's 11:38. I love y'all. I love how y'all come on here and y'all feel so comfortable being on my platform. I truly do love all of y'all. I really do. I appreciate the goodness here. Okay.
Amen.
But we have to have other people. World Class is now here. I don't think Alexis was done giving her her perspective. So, I do want to get other people on. I've never met Sherry. I'm not quite sure where she came from. I appreciate you supporting my panel. I really, really do. But we do need to get other people in there. And I don't think we're going to get that tonight with Miss Sherry. We might have to have a whole nother show with Miss Sherry, okay? All right. Well, Miss Sherry let us know the history of what's truly going on in these streets. But from what I get from her sentiment, black men love black women. We've had some things occur and on these streets where that's not necessarily the perspective. So I think she means well. But tonight we just don't have time for all of the history. So maybe another time. But Alexis, love, if you would like to continue on with your perspective so we could get back on track and we could all have a cohesive understanding of what's going on in the show. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate it. Thank you. What I was saying when I made the point about us looking at this friend, like, girl, we know, like, even you don't have to get played in sex to where, like, the dude may not have dished you to where he didn't call you again. But there is some instances where like he probably done got you, girl. It doesn't have to be so dramatic, like, oh, he kicked me to the curb and it don't have to be like that all the time. Just like there's some instances where guys, y'all know she done got you, and they're not saying she done got you to where you put in a position to where like she done broke you or nothing like that, but y'all know it comes those moments happen. It's life. It's when I saw what stars took $10 out of my account, I was on a 3-month subscription. I felt some type of way. They got me, and then I signed back up for another 3-month subscription. It happens. It's life, and I just think that people try to make like me as a female. I could tell from the interaction when I have with a man what he's kind of hitting for, and I think a lot of women can. And just like a man can from whatever interactions that with the female. But there are some instances where, yeah, you might just slipped up and something just happened as far as like you probably thought this person was legit. He played all the stuff that was supposed to, and he still left you like as if a one night stand. And vice versa for the female. You thought she was cool and all this stuff. You bought this, bought that, and you ain't get no call since. It happens. So I that's my perspective. I think it just part of the game, and just because you get played in that aspect doesn't mean that you got dragged. I think a lot of people think when a man using you for sex means that you was just the hoe that he ran through and never called again. Nah, you could get played or used in different ways and in different degrees. So that's my perspective.
Let me ask you something though. I mean, how do you mean by used? If you wanted to have sex with a dude and he has sex with you, how are you used? How are you used? Is it because your expectations aren't met, or what?
I guess, and maybe I shouldn't have used, but
No. I'm not trying to backtrack on the word used, but I think you have a meaning behind it. What do you mean by there's some expectation that he didn't fulfill?
Probably, or that's what I'm saying. Maybe whoever went into the situation with the expectation and go and that's what I'm saying. Like it's so like life is just not black and white. There's always gray area. Even if you went into that expectation because he told you, "Oh yeah, I want to get to know you, I want to take you out and do all this stuff," and then it didn't end that way. That's what I'm saying. Like just
I got you. I want you. I got you.
Hey, Alexis, I got a question for you. Is there a way that a woman could ensure that she is never used for sex? Is there a possible way that we can make sure that that never ever happened? That the man that she had sex with was a man that she actually wanted to be with, and that he actually wanted to be. Is there a possible way that could ever happen?
Be a virgin, die a dog, die alone.
Well, if you're a sexually active person, no. I feel like that question is like, is there ever a way that you can ensure yourself that you will not get hit while you're driving? No, there's no way I can ensure I can do everything correctly and still there's that chance that it just goes left and we have no control over it. So I don't think there's a way.
But I'm saying for being used for sex only. There's no way to defend against that at all.
You don't have sex with them.
I mean,
yeah, you have to ask questions. You have to, I mean, that's just it. Like if you know in general that if a man is approaching you, usually it might be for, to go horizontal. So you can play his games too. You're like, oh, you like my smile? Oh, really? Okay. So you can engage him and see where his mind is. If you've already been in that situation so many times, you don't have to let the guy down. But if it looks like a dog and bark like a dog, it probably is a dog. It's probably the same thing like that. So if you do kind of gently let him down, and if he still tries to pursue you, maybe you can take it. That's your choice to go further or not. But usually just by questioning him, in a nice, engaging way, just to see where his mindset is. And usually, sometimes it comes out.
It's being used for sex really that
and
bad?
body language as well.
It's being used just for sex as a woman. Is it really that bad?
Yep.
Yeah. So where do we get the consensus that men are using women for sex? Where did that come from? Maybe I'm a little late. I might have not seen the videos.
I could play it again. A lot has happened since I played it the last time. So
But can I
I
throw something
thought
in real quick?
I thought Miss
Are we
Sherry probably
saying
was great.
girls don't use
Yeah,
men
I
for sex?
What'd you say, Alexa?
I'm just saying, like, because the original was men using women for sex, but are we coming in with the pretense that women don't use men for sex?
Oh, I haven't heard that, but I don't think nobody up here would assume that.
But I'm just saying, like, I think that's why I'm like, I can't believe that. No, like, we don't know off the bat. Like I said, unless you actually, there are other times where, like I said, where somebody can set it up like it's this and it could go another way. But I
Mona,
think
what up?
it's a two-way street. I think it depends on the person. Maybe that's what I'm feeling. I think it depends on the person. I don't think there should be a gender thing.
Alexis, when have you ever heard a man say she used me for my body?
I'm about to start saying it. I'm about to start saying it.
It's not a two-way street. We don't give a damn. As men, we don't.
Hey, Trey, imagine the man saying she's letting me out.
That y'all got used for your body. All right, let
But
me.
it happens. It does.
Well, and we will be flattered when we're used for our bodies. We would be flattered.
That's a fact, Mr. Trey.
There's no doubt about it.
We're the ones in the shower crying, trying
Right.
to wash the guy off his
Wait.
Just because y'all internalize
Women
it
use men
differently.
for bodies just like women use men for money, and men use women for bodies just like men use women for other things. So let's be real about it.
All right, let me play the video one more time because I think either World Class or somebody wanted me to play it again, so I'm gonna play it again. I see somebody else. I see a Dan in the backstage. Lord, tonight might be the night. Dan, don't come up here with the shenanigans, child. Okay? Can I get a head nod that you want? Dan the man. Dan, can you hear me? Dan. All right. Let me play the video.
Have you ever had a situation with a woman where you know you were using her for sex? Like you knew that and you felt bad about it?
Felt bad about it now.
Did it? Yeah.
No.
No. Okay. Why not?
Because she knows.
But did she accept it, or like you could
Yeah,
tell
she
she?
had to accept it.
You said, I just want to have sex with you. It's a microphone in front of you.
You know when a girl wants something more than sex. Like a lot of women, y'all will put it on a man thinking that that's going to change his mind or convince him to do something else. Once I feel a way about you, that's it.
That is wild to hear a man say, like, you know when a woman is just willing to put up with whatever the bring to the table because she just wants to be with you. What do you think are some examples of that?
I don't respond to your text for hours.
Say it again, because somebody needs to hear that.
When does your man never not have his phone on him? When is it ever dead?
Does anybody ever not have their phone on them?
Most women break rules for the man that they want, and they make rules for the man that they settling for.
What? Who the hell calls a chick or texts a chick back the same day?
Thank you, World Class. I just said that. Thank you.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry.
Wait, how long have you known? Does it matter how long you know? Well, let's just say you know the girl, because who does take backs on the first day when you don't know someone? But let's just say you know her. So she texts, and how is this scenario going down where it's like y'all don't text back the same day? Because is this game that men are running? Because this happens.
I'm gonna give real game. You old guys take a note. You know what I'm saying? This is new school. Y'all don't know nothing about this. So I actually learned this from my one of my OGs, my mentors. You got to be in my schedule by Sunday.
Huh?
If you're not in my schedule by Sunday, yeah.
Wait. Okay. Like, let's give an example. Today's Monday, so you go the whole week.
You should have gotten a schedule yesterday. You just missed it.
Oh my goodness.
So you know what I'm saying?
See if you get in by next Sunday.
Yeah, that's it. So if I meet you today, I got a specific time where I'm gonna hit you back. So you might not get a response today. What you eat and what you already know what I eat. All that, you know what I'm saying? You got
the small talk. I don't know. I don't do well with small talk, but I don't. But So you're saying that if she's not in your schedule by Sunday, then to hell with her, like or she gets
I may or may
moved
not
to
get.
the next week, or
Yeah, I may or may not get to you, and we're not doing small talk until you come.
oh
'Cause you
wow,
can't,
okay.
No free attention pressure.
because
No
you
free
can't,
attention.
you can't hit me nowhere. Because you still thinking about how it's gonna be. I only gotta remember this shit because this nigga dick may be whack. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not playing these games. So
But
after you
that
come
is
to
a
the
game. You are playing a game.
I'm not playing. Listen,
Absolutely.
I'm not playing her game. But like that.
But you playing the pimp's game.
My
Well,
God,
that's
my
hey,
God.
well, hell, hey, a winner's a win.
This is exactly why people not getting married, because men are like, well, I'm not playing her game. If you're not in my schedule by Sunday, I'm not going to
Amen.
text you back right away. I'm not. And this is why women, when women don't study men, this is why they ask them dumbass questions, because it's like, oh, well, what if she don't accept that? It's like, no, as a woman, you need to know the game that a man is playing, because he's not playing your game. World Class just said it. He's not
Absolutely
playing your
not.
game.
Absolutely
So as a
not.
woman, you need to know that when a man is truly into you and when he's not into you, and when you know that is when you actually cut him off, because a man who is truly into you is not going to, first of all, he's not going to play games. He's going to take the initiative to let you know that he's interested in you, and he's not playing no games or putting you in schedules. He's not responding. He wants you. A man who don't really want you for you and just want your cookies, he is going to say, oh, I'm not going to respond back right away. I'll get that pussy whenever I get it. I'll text her whenever I want it. But women don't pick up on those cues, because if a man is just texting me every now and again, I'm not worried about you. You text me, hey, like I'm not giving you that energy, because you're not giving me that energy. Relationships are reciprocal, okay? And so if you see that I'm pouring into you and I see that you're not, I'm going to stop doing what I'm doing. I don't know why women don't take those cues and put a stop to it. People who know me in real life know I will stop messing with you at a drop of a dime. I will do it, because there's no reason why we have to waste time like this. I'm not wasting time with anyone.
You make the ones that you want the most wait the longest.
That's your energy already.
Wait the longest. How
Yes, because
crazy does that sound?
this is updated. This is the DLC. You give her as many opportunities to be herself, to make as many mistakes as she possibly can. If the one that you see over 90 days don't do the fuck shit, that's the one you start considering.
And how are you supposed to do that by Sunday?
Yeah, but listen, you gotta get in the schedule by Sunday. So we should be moving fast nowhere. Because I had this problem, you know what I'm saying?
Do that by Sunday.
Yeah. We had this problem where you end up in the bed with a lady too fast. So it's like, all right, you got to schedule me for the next week.
Oh my gosh.
You gotta take a time.
You got a 90.
What do you think about what you're hearing here?
I loathe this word reciprocation.
Your name is not
Oh, Hank.
Oh.
Low.
You said me.
What do you think about what you're hearing here?
Okay, now go.
What? Look, first of all, a hoe ain't gonna get on my schedule on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Shout out to Jarrell and Alexander O'Neal. But no, she's not gonna be none of that. So she's gonna get them moments. Now, a lady who I'm looking to invest in, I'm gonna put on the schedule right away if I deem her worthy. But if she's not, then she won't get there. I understand what World Class saying. I do, but a hoe won't get on my schedule. She's whenever I feel the need, the desire.
Because the young man is misleading people, saying that if you don't text him back in a couple of hours, that he just using you for your body, and that's completely false. That's not real. That's not real. Because there's some dudes are really busy, really working on their craft, and they got children. I got a son. They may got big children, big children problems. You know what I'm saying? And that's not true. You know what I'm saying? That it looked like that's one of those clips that's gonna go viral, get a couple 100,000 views, and now, girl, when they don't call you back, that mean no. That mean because if there's an important conversation that is going to require more than a yes and a no, I don't want to get into it and then I got to get off the phone and hop back on it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I may want to wait till I can really have that conversation with you. You know what I'm saying? So maybe tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Or in the morning or whatever. When I can be calm and I don't got to worry about stuff. So it sound mean, but at the end of the day, yeah. It's not pimping. This is
the scenario that you are interested in a woman or that you're not interested in a woman.
Oh, this is, but see, at the end of the day, it depends on me. I'm gonna say the ones I'm interested in. So that's kind of biased because I'm not dealing, like Hink said, I'm not dealing with hoes. I started dealing with hoes when I was like 22. I deal with women. You know what I'm saying? And so my mindset is, even if it's a situation, this should sound rough, but if you're dealing with a man of substance that's about something, it's not going to be easy. And I'm not about to lie to you unless you think it's easy. This is a lot. I'm not average and ordinary. I eat different. I think different. I talk different. I go about life completely different. It's not like these regular niggas you used to. And I don't want you to think that the fuck shit is going to be, the shit you used to is going to be good enough. So it's going to be difficult from the beginning. If you can adapt over that 90 days, look, it's up. You know what I'm saying? So it's for the women that I want. The women I don't want, I'd be like, hey, bro, I seen this chick at, what's her name? Let me send you her number. That's the ones I don't want. I give them to somebody else.
So world class don't play games because he's the coach. That's basically what.
Arpain, what do you think about what you're hearing?
No, listen, I don't have any pushback on anything I'm hearing. Like I said, it just depends on the guy and what he's after. I think that the sexual dance between men and women, I think it's all fair. It's been going on since the beginning of time. The song it might have changed, and so has the dance. And the people who learn a new dance because it's information age in 2024 are the ones who come out on top. Both men and women. The one question I have is who's really being used, the man or the woman? Because I really believe that the sexual marketplace is owned by the women, men just playing it. And the guys who know how to play in it, they come out on top. But it still belongs to the women. Now, a lot of men don't like that shit because they know how to seduce women and all that shit. But nobody really has sex with a woman unless she wants to, unless they're committing a criminal act. So no matter how suave you are and all this horse shit, I'm the man, I could bet all of these women. Every single one of them pretty much said yes before you got access, even whether you want to give them credit for that or not. So that's where I'm at. I think this whole dance that we do and all this shit is a modern times, information age. It's all bullshit. I'm a man, you're a woman, and men and women like to get together and screw.
So let me get this
The only
right.
thing that's different is the dance.
You said the women control the marketplace? That's what you
Yes.
said?
Yes.
That moonshine kicking in.
So what?
That moonshine is kicking in right about
No,
now.
it has
isn't
nothing to do with moonshine. You think men control the sexual marketplace?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you guys are crazy.
Yes.
You guys are crazy. You guys don't know what the fuck you're
If
talking
all the women stop having sex with all the men, then what y'all gonna do?
Hey, listen.
I think it's your ego talking. I think it's your ego talking.
It's a little bit of both. Because as soon as a woman say you can get it, a man picks up on that and he knows how to go ahead and pursue what he can get. And so to act as if she releases it as soon as she says she can get it. So the Arpain, your point is correct. She does have it, but she releases it very often.
The reason I say, okay, go ahead, Ken, my bad.
Excuse my curse word, but listen, I like to hear men tell me how they control the sexual marketplace. I like to hear that.
If I'm a man of
you
resource,
can't control the marketplace if you don't own the commodity. They own the commodity.
Okay.
So if they have what we want, they're in control of it. Now we may have tried to run some slick side hustle game to make it seem like we're in control of it. We tried to trick them, but at the end of the day, I think we've done a really good job. But I think we told them
I
to go
agree with
be.
that.
I think we told them to go be liberated sexually. Go be liberated. I think it was the biggest trick we ever ran on women, because all it did was just push the women into the arms
But
of the
did
men who
we
had more
do
money.
that, Trey, or did the feminists do that?
I guess
The
you don't want
No,
to.
no, 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 no. But when you look at if you look at a lot of these feminists, there's some male support there. There's male
Yeah. Oh
support
no. Yeah.
behind
No
them.
doubt. No
There's
doubt.
male support behind them. I truly think that was the biggest trick we told women. Go out there and give your cooch to anybody you want to, and nobody's gonna judge you, and you should be in charge of it, and this and that. And the whole time, the guys at the top of the mountain were like, "Oh, that's perfect. I get more options now. That works out even better for me now." But you can't be in control of the marketplace if you don't own the commodity. They got the JJ, I guess. So they in control.
A woman's, and not to be disrespectful, a woman has a period between 18 and 40 where they have to achieve the things that they want, or their marketplace value goes down and a younger stock takes the place of them. And that's not being disrespectful to any woman. If I'm a man and of means, I'm getting what I want by percentage. If I'm in places and they know I am a man of means, my conversations become less. They come to me. And that's not being egocentric. He who, it's like Darwin's theory, survival of the fittest. He who has the resources dictates how things go. Chris Rock said a line back in his comedy special, like years back, that when you're rich, you have options. You don't have to deal with a regular no, because you have 9 more yeses coming, and not from bottom barrel females, the cream of the crop.
Good point.
Yeah,
but
both
that
you
doesn't
and
mean you're
Trey
in
said the same
control.
thing. You and Trey said the same thing. It's just about who owns the commodity, and that's the point that I was trying to make, is that once you release if you're releasing it because they got something you want, money, whatever the case may be, you release that authority. So you have the commodity, but then your commodity is valueless when it could be bought.
Okay, you said value. I'm going to use your word, Sean. I gave you a point where a woman is most valuable if you're doing it percentages and stats, 18 to 40, right? Some would say 18 to 35. Men's wealth and their value still accrues way beyond that. Think about what I just said.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm not disputing what you're saying.
I defer a little bit from,
and that's
from
not
that.
to be disrespectful to any women. It's just that's how nature plays out.
I defer a little bit from that perspective. I don't think it's the commodity issue. I think it's if I control her value system or their value system, I control them. I control their selection. So men control their value system. Men create their environment, their exposure, et cetera, et cetera. It's not a bunch of women. At the end of the day, you have your rights because men sat around and allowed you to have them.
You pull that string, though, brother. Pull that string. Pull that string in terms of what are you really controlling? Women who want to be married, women who want to have kids, or women who want to have sex?
Both of them.
there's levels to
Again,
that's
I
why
said
that's why I disagree with you. But go ahead. I
that's
hear
what
what you're saying, so it's not crazy, but I hear what you're saying.
I'm saying the value system they have. All the women that you mentioned, right?
It still doesn't matter. You still have to shop for that woman anyway. So if it's more expensive crotch or less expensive bottom of the barrel crotch, you still have to go to the market and get it.
Well,
right? Even if you
if
have more money, you're gonna go shop at Versace. You're not gonna go to TJ Maxx, are you? You still gotta go to the place where it has the thing that Jay said.
But we all, whether it's Versace, whether it's a mechanic, we all know they're coming anyway.
And the funny
because
thing
I
is,
already know your value system.
Yeah, we're saying the same thing, and he's right. The value system is the issue. And for example, a lot of billionaires don't shop at Versace. Quite frankly, they do shop at TJ Maxx, but the poor people value Versace. So if we're really talking about the value system, we got to reevaluate what we value, and that's part.
Yes.
That's why it's a commodity. That's why. So you're right, but the word commodity is why I was like, I understood that because the commodity at that point is what you value.
You know, listen, you guys are sounding real good because it sounds good. But for the 1% of men who could try to make their way, 90% of men will take sex from women any way they give it to them. So all this shit that you're talking about sounds good.
That's not true.
But wait, hold on, no, wait a minute.
That ain't true.
You had to say 90% of men are gonna take sex from women any way they deliver it to you. And that's how it's been since the beginning of time.
Okay,
that's the game.
How is that not true, Sean?
Okay, don't get triggered now.
I'll
Elite
explain
men
it
have
to you.
always. Why won't you let me finish? I'm gonna be quick. The elite men have always had a pick of the litter, but the average rank and file guy is gonna take what a woman gives. There's been time when when men don't get none. Right now, it's 30% of men ain't getting a drop. So, all those guys ain't ugly. They just don't have no game. So you gotta, just because you can know your way around a woman, don't mean you own a marketplace.
Okay,
you own your
differentiate.
little corner of it, but women control the sexual marketplace no matter what you say. With the majority of men.
How is it true?
The majority of men. That's why we have all these motherless kids out there. That's why I got men doing stupid shit, even when they're rich and accomplished. Basketball players impregnating the worst harlots in the whole world. I mean, losing their fortunes and everything. Listen, you guys don't know what the hell you're talking about because you don't read books. Read the Bible. The men have been fucking around doing stupid shit with women since the beginning of time. Start with Adam. When she gave him the apple and he bit it, and he said, "Oh shit, Eve, you got a fat ass." And from then, we've been
she had to be fat. I agree with you.
chasing women ever since.
Crazy fat.
What part of the Bible said that?
We've been chasing women ever since. Stop.
Is that in Genesis?
You
You
have
need to cite
a
the
valid
chapter and
point.
verse.
You asked me a question. Arpain, you have a valid point because you
I'm
differentiate.
sorry, it's Easter week.
That's all good. It's all good.
You have a valid point when you differentiated the fact that most men, and I agree with you, most men, but most men are not in the point that I was making, those who control, as the man said, the value system is not most men. So who I was speaking to at that point was those who control the value system. They ain't out there just chasing and getting anything that's available to them. And you saying that, and I was speaking to those.
And this is cherry Kool-Aid. You don't know. I call it. It's just like that kind of shit.
But Precious, look how extreme you have to go to find the women who make it easier. Majority of men are placing themselves in that marketplace to try to get it, and they're not in control. And I dare say the husbands are in the worst positions. You definitely aren't in control of your sex life because you got to go through your own wife. And if your wife says no, it ain't happening.
Woo! Yeah, that's crazy.
It's a simple fix to the topic. Is that same 1%, that same 1%, Mr. Payne, of men are influencing the average man. Yeah. And when you're dealing with these women, like in real life, I'm mid like everybody else. These chicks, when you're around them, whether they super attractive, mid, they start to copy us. And then they use what they see as their better version. They use it against the average guy they don't want. Oh, you don't got this like him. Your thing ain't this big like him. You can't hit it from this side to that side like him. They do that. So whatever's the main, that's why I said the value system, whatever the biggest influence is in their life, pause, that's what they'll use. That guy, her exposure, that guy will be her 1%. So it's kind of the same. It kind of scales down. Even if you put it in average, just dealing with the average men, that dynamic of 80-20 rules still apply. So they'll be picking from the top guy in high school, top guy around the block, top guy at the office. It's kind of the same thing. So those guys, those top 20% is still dictating the market. And then the women are following those guys. Like we watched with Kevin Samuels.
No, well, okay. See, when you say, listen, I agree with you that the elite men that women want have more leeway than the average do. but you can't discount the total based on 20%. Right? What I'm saying is those guys may have a little bit more leeway, but even those guys, let me put it to you this way.
Well, I scaled it down to
Let
that.
me just say this. Let me just say this real quick. Even the horniest even the horniest prawn star
Mhm.
can deny a man.
Of course.
They still have the ability to deny the one guy in the whole world that they don't want to have sex with, even though they have like 100 videos. They can still do that. And what I'm trying to say is the average rank and file guy, besides it, it's not even really 20%. I think it's less than that. Who is having their way with women? They can't really do those things. And even the most wanted man is not 100%. If I line up 10 women, he might get 70, and he's the champion. There's still 3 women who ain't going to give it to him either. So so there's still at least 3 women ain't going to give it to that guy, no matter what he says.
I mean, psychologically, that's not really making sense, Payne, because psychologically,
I know, Sean, because you want to give
no,
women
because psychologically, if you think about it, if you put 10 people on the line and you say yes, 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 the 8th person is going to probably say yes psychologically.
No. Well, you just belittle the woman. That's not true.
That's the
Let me
person.
just
It ain't
say
got
this.
nothing to do
Let me
with
just
man
say
and
this.
woman.
If you ever been to a dance, Sean, if you've been to you got your shit together and you ask a woman to dance and you're in a crowded room and she says no to you, all the rest of the women who saw her say no to you, you go to the next chick, her ass is saying no. You go to the next chick.
What
You're
generation are you
lending
in?
to the point I
Ain't
just
nobody
made.
ask anybody to dance anymore, sir.
No,
What are you
what
talking
I'm
about?
trying to say is that, this whole notion that saying the 8th chick is going to say yes.
No, I said
not
if you
necessarily
dance with
true.
seven of the chicks, they all said yes. More than likely, the 8th chick is gonna say yes
Not
too.
necessarily true. You're trying to tell me that the Playboy is going to get 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Yes,
So
that's what I'm trying to tell you. Yes.
I was watching this
That's
thing
what you're
on
saying.
TikTok.
I disagree, but I hear you. Because
I
a
was watching.
Playboy will get up here and tell you he ain't getting 10 out of 10.
I mean, well, his chances are 10 out of a higher percentage.
No,
Because
they're
I was
high, but
looking at a
shit,
thing on
7 out of 10 ain't good.
I was looking at a thing on TikTok. It's called
Okay,
Home
go ahead.
Math.
High school.
Home Math, right? So like
Yeah, I
the
love
top guy, he's a 10. So the 10 wants the 10, the 8 wants the 10, the 9 wants the 10, the 7 wants the 10, the 1 wants the 10, the 2 wants the 10. So all the women, they want the top dude. So leaving the average dude like 7 or 5 below, nobody's going in that direction. So it's like it's a representation of like in the women that are 1s and 2s, they think they're 10s, and so they think they're entitled to the top 10 dude. So by default, and it's like eliminating the eligible men that they should be equated
I
to.
stand corrected, Sean. White School Podcast set me straight. I didn't want to hear it from you, but I can hear it from a woman.
It's called
That's crazy.
But Precious is right. You got to learn how to study, and not just men, just women too. How their behaviors in the new dating market is.
Yeah.
Are y'all really studying us? Because I feel like y'all still don't get it.
I do. I study men.
You
All right.
just talked about reciprocation. I don't know, Precious. I don't know.
What do you mean?
So here's the thing, because I didn't get to say this, but I have been on 4 or 5 hour homicide scenes. If you text me while I'm on a homicide scene, I'm not whipping out my cell phone to text you back.
Part of knowing you
this,
and studying you is knowing that, though, right? So I'm not gonna trip if you don't text me back in 4 or 5 hours.
But this is my life. So this could be, if I work 5-6 days a week, this could be every single day. And if you're looking for reciprocation, and I worked in the hood, but bodies was dropping every day. So if you were expecting reciprocation, and you're texting me, and when you text, go ahead.
Very good. Well, when I say reciprocation, I just mean that we're still in communication with one another. There are people that will text you and then you won't hear from them for days. There's a difference between knowing what a man does as far as work and giving him that space to do what he needs to do as far as work, rather than someone who's like, oh my God, he better text me back right now. And if he don't, then he must be cheating or busting somebody else down. No. I mean, you know, studying a man enough to know that if a man does go days without texting you, then he's just not that into you. He's just you're not someone that he really wants to put time and energy into, and that's fine.
I
I
agree.
mean, a couple of
And
days.
women have to come to that conclusion before they need a man to actually say that to them. Like men don't have to say to a man don't have to say to me, I'm just really not interested in you. He don't have to say that to me. His actions will say that, because men are very action oriented. Men are going to go after what they want. They're going to, you're hunters. You're just naturally that way. So if a man is not naturally hunting you or pursuing you or initiating things with you, he's not that into you, and he just don't want to tell you. But as women, we want to get on you know, the internet and be like, well, did she accept it? Like, what you mean did she accept it? She's not seeing reality for reality, but she want to ask a man who wants to get his nut off if the woman is accepting it, and like the man says, she had to, and if she don't, that's not his problem. See, us women want our problems to be a man's problem, is not his problem. Yes, you would like him to have integrity. You would like him to not dog you out. You would like him to be the Prince Charming. But the fact of the matter is, in reality, is every man is not like that. Every man is not going to treat you nice because you want to be treated nice. No, some men are going to do what they want to do to whoever they want to do it to, as long as you give them access to do it.
And I guess relationships just aren't for me, because I can't tell you how many times I've gotten halfway down out of my my little my little living area, and realized I left my phone at home. It is not attached to me at all, and I had to turn all the way and go all the way back to my house and go get my phone. And if a woman is sitting there thinking that I'm gonna call you every day and we're gonna sit on the phone and talk, or if you text me within the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna text you right back, that ain't me. I ain't that guy.
You're not a relationship person.
And that doesn't mean that I'm not interested in you. I just don't sit up on the phone. Even when I was in high school, I was never that guy who was like cupcaking on the phone all night. So that wasn't me.
That goes to what she just said. She said that comes along with you knowing the person that you with.
Right.
And I dated a state trooper, and I knew when I got serious with him that we probably weren't going to be like on no phone calls like that because of his job. Like I mean, I think like it's almost, to me, am I feeling too above to think that's not common sense? That if you're dating a man in a certain type of job, you wouldn't have the understanding that he may not contact you, and that you may need to get your insecurities under control if you want to date this guy, because he may not call you every day, especially if he has a job.
You know, Alexis, you say that, right? But in art, right? A lot of shows show that when a woman marries a man, like in the situation you're talking about, at some point, it's still not enough for her.
Hey, my ex was also a cop, and she would do it, and she knew better.
Yeah.
And she would be like, "You can't call me back. You can't call me back." I'm like, "I'm on a scene. You of all people know how this goes."
Yeah.
Well, it's been 2 hours. You couldn't call me back. Y'all not wrapped up. Y'all not cleared yet. Like, are you serious?
We would be lost without you guys, but you guys are some strange birds, man. I swear to God.
I
can't live with them. Can't eat your food without them.
Yeah, I talked to I engaged with another content creator. Sean knows him. His name is Carl, and he's a cop, ex-cop. He's retired now, but he said that being in that profession kind of prohibited him from really being solid in a relationship because of what the job entailed. So I believe what Trey is saying, because there's certain, like even a doctor, they're on call. So that means, boom, here's the pager. Okay, maybe we could do something. You have to schedule in that time. You have to be intentional. So if you're not necessarily going to be there, then they may be on call, or maybe Trey was coming home for dinner that night, but he got called back on scene. It's so like those types of jobs where you're an essential worker is a little bit more taxing. So you really have to, like, Professor said, get to know, study
And
these types of
but why,
relationships,
Sue? Let me
ask the
ask you
right
a question.
questions.
Hold
How
on, hold on.
many women can handle that?
Hold
How many
on, real quick,
women
man.
really can handle that?
Right.
Because I'm about
Roxanne
to,
is right.
I was about to ask a simpler question. I wanted to ask the wife school this. Like, do you see what we saying? The two professions that you mentioned are 6-figure jobs. Being a
Mhm.
doctor, being a police
Mhm.
officer, these are 6-figure jobs. So where are women getting the concept that they
Right.
have for relationships in terms of communication if the standard that you want is opposed to that? If you
Usually
could,
these women just want lifestyles. They don't actually want the men. They don't want the relationship with the men. That's a
Amen.
totally different thing. Like if you're
Yep.
saying like the 6-figure, yes, the
Mhm.
amenities of 6 figures. But what about Trey? What about the guy? He's a person,
They
he's a
don't
human
have
being.
emotional intelligence for that. They
Yeah.
don't have enough, and you had to have that emotional intelligence. You know your man is out 12 hours a day working. I mean, you shouldn't your main focus should be,
Bring
are
him
you
some
safe?
lunch.
Are you okay? Right. Is he safe? Is he good? Good. Now let me take care
Yeah.
of what needs to happen at home. Or like Trey
Absolutely.
said, bring him some lunch. Or like you're get a hobby,
Right.
fill your
Get
time
that
up with
hobby.
something to do.
I'm
You know what I mean? Like you can't
for the hobby.
be sitting around waiting for a man, because a man ain't going to
Absolutely.
be sitting around waiting for you. He's going
Yeah.
to do what he needs to do to be
Absolutely.
productive. And
Right.
that's what women aren't doing. They're not doing things to be productive. It's like, oh, what he doing? Who he texting? Where he going? Why
Mhm.
he not texting me? And you have to have a certain type of emotional intelligence. I watched a
Yes.
lady who said that women claim to have all this emotional intelligence, and they really don't have any, because
Yeah.
you're
Absolutely.
so emotional. You don't know how to regulate those emotions. You don't know how
Absolutely.
to perfectly, place those emotions in a way that you're not running someone away, right? Because if a man see that you're always crying about him not texting you back or calling you back or whatever, he's gonna be like, forget it. Like, I'm this, and and it's gonna be a genuine type of decision, because it's like, I'm here, I'm doing everything that I need to do, I'm providing, I'm still making you happy, and you're crying that I'm not texting you back after
Mhm.
2 hours. Like, that's
Yeah.
it's so minuscule in the
Mhm.
grand scheme of things. Like, you know what I mean? So I think that women need to understand and study men. And that's why I have these panels, because women don't do this on a regular basis. Women don't take the time to say, let me look at the bigger picture.
Right.
Right? Especially, and a lot of women be doing this, and it's not even your man. Y'all not even together. He hasn't even said, I want you to be my woman. So why are you putting all this energy into a man that's not even yours? If he come around, he come around. If he don't, he don't. But why are you putting so much emotion into it?
Because women are competing with other women. She knows the extra shit that other women be doing for him, and everybody after the same guy, and she trying to outdo her. That's the shit that really frustrates a man like me, is because you compete with that chick, and now it's like she in our relationship, and I'm not fucking her too. That's annoying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got all this. Where do you get these things? Why we ain't gone into this? Why we ain't gone into this? Can we go? Where the fuck are you getting all this shit from? Because if you're competing with her, and we need to bring homegirl in the relationship, man, or you need to stop bringing her the fuck up, or bringing these goofy things the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? But these are the things.
I always say women worry about women too much.
It's
You're always worrying about another. You ain't even worried about the man. That's the sad part about it. You worried about another woman more than you worried about that man.
Yeah, so Precious, you know what? It'd be nice. It'd be nice to see a panel filled with women.
Ooh, okay.
The first question you ask them is, well, what do you expect from a man? And then after they put their 800-page laundry list together, ask them, what are you willing to give that dude for all of this? That's that's the one thing that's missing. I go through all these panels. I never hear the women say, for all of this shit I want, what are you willing to do? Don't ask what you're going to bring to the table, because they could use that as some stupid euphemism. What are you willing to do for the kind of man you want? And make those women say something, because I don't hear no women ever saying what the hell you want for a guy like that.
Arcane,
and ask them where they get it from.
not what you're willing to do, because that's just going to entice them to give the politically correct answer.
Well, I like to hear even they don't even know how to do that.
I'd rather them tell you what they've done Tell me what you've done for a man.
Well, that too. Yeah,
And,
I agree.
and most of them either are not going to be able to answer the question because they haven't done anything, or they did something in the last relationship. But I guarantee you, it'll go into I did all that, and he still. It'll go into I did all of
That's
this,
why I
and he
wanted
still.
to say. That's why I wanted to say, leave it open ended. What are you willing to do for the next guy to make it different? You got this
I'll
list.
tell you what they're gonna do with the next guy. They're gonna bring all the shit from the past one to the next guy.
But give him a chance to answer. You know that.
Not
You know what I'm saying?
all, not all, but some.
I don't disagree. I hear you.
Too many of them.
No, but all I'm saying to say is, in general, whether it's what they've done or what they would do, it's a lack of women saying exactly what they want for these goddamn superstar men that they want. What are you gonna do for them?
Precious, the jig is up. Men now know we're supposed to get something back. See back in our Pain's day. Back in our Pain's day, if you wanted to get a little box, you had to go buy a ring and buy a house. You had to go do a whole bunch of stuff. And what you were actually getting back was kind of hidden. No, they really didn't know what exactly they were getting back, right? But nowadays, men are asking up front. If I do this and this and this and this, and I give you the lifestyle, that you're looking for, what do I get back in return?
Right.
And women are struggling
And I
with the
say
answer to this question.
Brother, in my defense, can I say this?
Our Pain, we're taking it personally. It wasn't a shot at you. I'm contrasting the two times. It wasn't about you, really. It was about women. Hang on, our Pain. Hang on. It was more about men today and going forward are going to ask a question that men in the 70s, the 60s, 70s, 80s didn't ask. They didn't ask that question. Now going forward, 2024 going forward, men are going to ask this question. Okay, I'll do this for you. You want me to provide? I'll do that. You want me to protect? I'll do that. You want a house? I'll do that. You want to not pay bills or pay a smaller portion of the bills? I'll fine. What do I get? And women are. I mean, and I'm telling you this. Hang on, our Pain. I'm telling you this as a man who's going out on dates with women between the ages of 26 and my age. I'm 39. Between 26 and 39, they cannot answer this question. They can't answer it.
Can you let me say this though?
No.
I know in general you were correct. But when I first had my very first day with my wife, I said, I'm not looking for another girlfriend. I wanted to know what we could do together to build something. So I hear what you're saying. And she answered correctly. And we went from dating to courting in that very first date. But the general guy wasn't asking that question. But goddamn, I was. I wanted to know what I was going to get out of this. But I hear what you're saying. So I'll acquiesce to you. Right now, men should definitely lead with that if they're looking for a wife. What the hell are you going to do for me?
Trey is correct. Trey is absolutely correct. In our Pain, it doesn't matter because you probably also asked your woman, is that square gonna roll when you was trying to invent the wheel?
I want to drop the F-bomb so bad.
I'm gonna read these comments. We're gonna do final words and then get out of here. Okay, guys.
And that's a good point, Trey. But that's true. But men ain't asking the questions.
Pain. She got to read the thing.
Right. And Nanashi says the term is casual sex. This is part of the sexual liberation package. These women again have to agree to it before it happens. If you don't hit, someone else will. Not sure what to even say about that. Big Ann 11, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Respect to the panel, and Hank, you ain't no player. This might be risky. Thank you so much for stopping through. He says, damn, Hank and Precious just sitting there, but it's Mr. Payne and Trey fault? Salute to the panel. LOL. Child, we had a time tonight. Okay. Blaze says that applies to both parties. If you're both on the same page and want to be in a relationship, then you'll make the effort and do the work. Simple as that. Simple as that. Simple as that. I appreciate you guys, everyone, for being up on the panel in the chat. I really do appreciate the Wife School podcast, as well as, I'm sorry, let me get these comment out the way. Alexis from Texas, thank you so much for joining us. World Class, of course. Kenny P, Trey, R. Payne, Sean, everyone that's come up. But we're gonna do our final words, and then we're gonna get out of here.
Okay.
So what we'll do is we'll start from Alexis from Texas. We'll move on over. We'll go up to Trey, and then we'll move over, and R. Payne will close this out. Okay. So final thoughts for the evening on any of the topics we have covered so far.
Okay. Well, I just want to say I appreciate you putting that twang on that text when you said my name. I really appreciate that. Okay. And then my final thoughts, I ain't gonna go too deep in it, but I would like Trey. Trey, hey, I'm over here. Hey, ask me. Go ahead, ask me right now. Say, look, you got the bankroll, all that. So go ahead and ask me, what can I bring? Go ahead.
No, it's not what do you bring. What do I get, Alexis?
Yes.
You
So
gonna
go
get,
ahead.
I'm gonna give you everything that you want. But what do I get? What do I get?
This is what you get, because I can only offer you the things that women can offer. I can't come in with money because you got money, and we understand that. So what I can offer is nice cooked meals. My mom's a Southern woman. I'm trying to get away from all that butter and stuff, but we gonna have some nice cooked meals. I'm gonna take care of your children. Their hair gonna be combed and all that. I'm gonna also make sure when you come home, you gonna have peace, because I like to smile, cheese. And then lastly, while you out there and you handling that homicide case, I'm gonna send you a message saying that I hope you're safe, baby, and a little picture of me with lingerie and handcuffs. Come home when you get home, baby.
Oh shit.
That's my final thoughts.
Dang. Shit.
Hey, Alexis, I gotta be honest with you. You gave a better answer than some of the women I've been on dates with.
I like that she said that. That's my final thoughts.
Hey Trey, you mean what's the ring size?
She was shooting her shot.
Hang on, world class. Let's not put the cart before the horse here. Because you know what I would say to that, Alexis, if we go on a date? I would say that you didn't mention anything about being fit, which is something that's important to me.
We on the first date.
Well, yeah, but I think you would notice if you guys only see me from the neck up. But if you saw me in person, you would see it. And if you didn't mention, hey, oh, by the way, I'm also going to keep this body looking tight and right for you to keep you attracted to me, that would also be something I would be looking to hear. And I didn't hear you say that. So we would have a good dinner. I would order us some more wine, and that would probably be it.
38, 30. Well, I'm about to be 38. You see this body, you know I'm keeping it together. Okay.
That's all right. This time, he ain't going nowhere. This time, 6 months is a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
Wife School Podcast, you're fine. Thank you so much, Alexis from Texas. I really appreciate
Alexis. That was awesome.
Wife School Podcast, your final thought. Now, you ain't got to tell Trey what you're going to give him now.
Oh, I'm not going to do that. She's a woman for doing that, so that's good. She'll have results.
Whatever final thoughts you
I thank you for having me on the panel. Like, I love hearing the men, what's going through their minds, because I know that men are visual. I know that they got this energy within their loins that they just want to get out. But ladies, you got to ask questions, okay? You got to, feel the intention for men, and know that if you give it up, you're part of the problem too, or part of the cause. So if you don't want to be in that way, try to strive to be a better woman. As the men said, they have these standards, they asking questions, what's in it for them, see what men are doing, so you can increase your chances at, being a woman that's chosen instead of being a mattress material. Hey, so that's all I got to say.
Okay.
Thank you. World Class, what are your final words, sir?
Appreciate you having me up. Shout out to everybody that came up on the panel. I think guys use women for sex because of the three main things that deter men from relationships. First one is when women are not empathetic, like Trey was explaining. You're not even watching my life to be able to accommodate me in any way. You got whatever shit in your head. The second one, which is probably for most men, is ungrateful. Men are seeing that women are very, very ungrateful. And then the third one was the other thing that was mentioned. When is enough enough? So it's like, I do all of this, what's in it for me type of deal. And if women want that to stop, it's on y'all to fix it. That's why I say men are the ones that are controlling the relationships and the marriages and the sexual marketplace, because women can't control their hoes. These hoes are y'all. Y'all are theirs. They belong to you. You raise these hoes. These hoes come out of your vagina. They're what you the most. So when you have these chicks that are fucking on the first date, a man like me gonna go, oh great, you're 8. You're productive, but I can find another 8 that's gonna fuck today. You got to do something about that. You know what I'm saying? So these are the things that we have to address and stop being scared to have conversations about, and put the onus on women where it really is, not some of this little kid cookie cut BS manosphere talking points, and start really talking about ownership in relationships and ownerships as a people. Like we have to, my generation is 80 baby. Yeah, don't be deadbeat dads. Don't be deadbeat dads. To the point now I'm 38. I don't know no dude in my age range that don't take care of his child. We take responsibility for that. Now that's one thing. We have to go, okay, you're right. Cool. We do need to step up as dads. We do need to step up as moms and take the initiative and go, hoes, hey, guess what? Y'all gotta stop fucking on the first date, or we're not gonna get these high value men. Something that simple. Like I said, the 3 things that can't be emphasized enough: the ungratefulness that women are showing. When the fuck is enough? When is enough ever? And the empathy, being able to see from my perspective and actually watching my life and accommodating my life, and not trying to live another man's dream through me. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. Peace.
Great final words. Some things to ponder on and think about. Thank you. Not another man living his life through you.
Living
Wow,
another
that
man's
was
dream
deep.
through me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's deep. Thank you, World Class. Sean, your final words, sir.
Wow, I want to echo what World Class just said.
Come up with your own words, man. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, he and I'll say it this way: value. Understand what we value. Whatever we value, we'll appreciate. Whatever we don't value, we'll depreciate. And right now, a lot of the women and men are being depreciated because we are valuing some very shallow scenarios. A lot of us are just plain and simply shallow, materialistic people, and that is what is driving our value system. And the result of it is a lot of these failed relationships, a lot of these lack of accountability on both men and women's parts. And I think we need to take more accountability where we are guilty of it. So let's not play games.
I think he has some.
Well, duty calls. All right. Trey, your final words, sir.
Yeah, first let me give Alexis a little bit of credit. That was actually a much better answer than what I've heard before. Because I've certainly heard a woman tell me once, and I quote, "It's not about what I can give to you; it's about what you can give to me." And those were actual words she said. And this was a woman who was in the midst of her residency to become a pediatrician. So this wasn't a stupid woman. Here's the thing. I think that I'm not going to cut women any slack. You're in charge of the slit in between your legs, and if you allow men to use you, that's on you. That's your choice. I believe that there was an entire system that was created so that you didn't get used. The whole point of you getting married and not having sex till you got married, so you didn't get used. I think that was put in place to protect you. But this gosh darn patriarchy, man. Sheesh. Not looking out for women, man. Damn. But I think that we've come to a point now where I think women are okay with being used for sex. I think in some cases, I think some women enjoy it. I got interrupted. There was a young lady who I'm gonna guess I'm gonna say she wants to get used. That's what I'm gonna say, because she basically came to tell me that she made me lasagna, and I've told her on several occasions nothing's going to happen between the two of us. And so she cooked for me. So what do you think's gonna happen now? What do you think's gonna happen? Because I was honest, Sean. I was honest. And she still ain't listening. So she finna get used. Not only for her cooking, but for her body.
Amen.
So hey, there it is.
But you were honest, so I can't dispute with your position on that. As a matter of fact, I commend that. all I say is just be honest. And if they don't want to embrace that honesty, then to your point, it's on them. I'm not asking you to be the saver person who don't want to listen. I'm asking you to be straightforward. Let them have the choice, and if they choose to still want to give it to you, so be it. And by the way, thank you, Alexis from Texas, because you and Wife Cast, White School, blah, blah, White School Podcast have given us some balance. Because I'd never seen Trey start blushing like that when you started answering that question.
Look, hold on, and can I
some great
you trying to say that I wasn't watching him, and I said that my mom is a Mississippi woman, and we trying to get away from all that butter and stuff. So obviously, I'm working on eating right, and he gonna say that I ain't looking at what he's doing. See, I'm joking.
Yeah, I think you shot your shot, and he just wasn't ready for the shot. And he
Forget the girl with the
rebounded from it,
lasagna.
though.
Hey, Shaw,
Trey,
you saying he
rebound
clammed up?
from it well. You rebound from it well, but she shot it at you. She shot it full blast.
Trey was folding.
That's my first time
That's
ever
not a
seeing Trey
shot,
really
Sean. That wasn't a shot.
He was respectful. He was very respectful, and I appreciate that because I've seen otherwise from Trey. So we're gonna take it.
Hey, my friend. Hey, my friend.
No, Trey, not a shot at you, a shot for you. She was shooting her shot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she was shooting her shot. I think she was just trying to
answering the
set.
question.
I think she was trying to set up her final thought. Yeah.
You know, we spend narratives over here on YouTube, Trey. Just go along.
Hey, but you know what?
Hold on, Precious. I'm a little offended. Are you saying you've heard me be worse?
Are you offended? Why are you offended? Offended?
You've heard me be worse?
I second the motion. Yes, you have been.
Because I'm just I'm an honest person.
Why he trying to play coy? You heard me be worse.
Wife's
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
All right.
Sean, you off the
All right,
chain.
let's move on. 'Cause we're moving on.
I mean,
Kenny, thank you, Trey. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, love. You know that. Kenny, final thoughts, sir.
Well, from the way this night started, it got ramped up real quick. Ready, set, go. And I think we had a very great panel. Distinguished guests. We had good talking points, different point of views, which we all invite within our community. But this is a progression that needs to be had. There's an audience that wants to hear real people talk and meet things out and juggle ideas and do it amicably and within a group where no one is having feelings against anyone else.
Right.
Understand? Women are important, men are important. We need each other. Everyone here has to run their race. Some people don't want to get married. Some people just want to be with who they be with and then live out their lives as they see fit. Other people want to, do the traditional thing. It's either right or wrong. Both are right. You understand? You have to run your race, live how you live. Just make sure you're not out there hurting nobody. You live in truth and let that motivate you. Good night.
Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate you. All right, and Arpain, your final thoughts this evening, sir.
Hey, thanks, Precious, for letting me up. It was a great panel tonight. It was a nice and lively conversation. I like it.
Wonderful.
Let me tell you, listen, there's no man in the whole wide world could ever convince me that women don't own a sexual marketplace. It don't matter how much box you can get, right? Women own that. And just because 1 or 2, 5, 10% of men could manipulate it and have the best outcomes they want, that doesn't change the fact that the overall majority of men have to acquiesce to what a woman wants before they get sex. So the point really is that's just the natural way of things, especially now in the modern era. Back in the day, back in the caveman day, the strongest men got all the women, and the other wimps, maybe had to sneak some at the waterfront, maybe. But the guys, the women always gravitated to the top men. That was way back. That was true in the caveman days, and it's true now. And so I have one of these kind of things that I always get pushed back on. That the nature of men and women haven't really changed. Just the tools that we use and abuse has. That's it. Everything else, if you understand the nature of how men and women interact, you won't have any problem. I don't care whatever it is. So that's just my thoughts, and I'll just land it there. No, men are not using women for sex. We mutually have sex together because we want to, unless there's some kind of illegal shit going on. You know, so women are not absolved of their agency for their womb. You can't pick and choose that shit. You're born with an inherent value as a woman, and it's your job to protect your virtue until you decide who you want to give it to. Men don't take that shit from you, and that's how it is. And even though every time you want to pass that on to everybody else because you don't want to take accountability, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. So I'll land it there.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone that was on the panel this evening. I did get a few cash apps, so I appreciate those as well. Thank you guys. Definitely join Lady Di and I on Wednesdays, either on Lady Di's channel or on my channel. We stream it from both, but it is her show, and I co-host with her. Just a lady show this Wednesday at 7 p.m. We're going to be speaking about the ladies this evening or on that evening. So definitely come through if you have time, if you're available. Might be able to even join the panel. So we will see, but definitely stay tuned for those posts and those announcements on our community pages because we'll be advertising them there. But again, I do appreciate you guys. Thank you. Tonight was a colorful. I appreciate all those who are on the panel. Just understand that when you come up on this panel, you do have to have respect. We had Sherry, Miss Sherry. I don't know why that remind me of Big Mama's house, but you know, she was kind of all over the place, and you know, we had to kind of wrap that up because we do want to show respect to those on the panel. We did have somebody trying to come up, Dan. I think he may have tried to derail our show. But just know I'm quick with it, okay? The trigger figures, they go and pull the trigger over here, so don't try it, okay? But I do appreciate all those who do come, those who support in the chat. Thank you guys so much. It is now Tuesday, so I appreciate you for spending the last of your Monday with little old me because you didn't have to, but I do appreciate you. And I will see you guys next Monday on this channel, but definitely hit me and Lady Di up on either channels on Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. And y'all know what I say when I end my shows, be real with yourself so you can be real with others. You guys have a great evening, and thank you again.
Peace.